take it too far. Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. Like a fish on land. This place must be hell. No more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. I was getting lost in the quicksand. Seagrass was all I found. An alternative hell. No more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. But I'm deep, deep down on the bottom of a well. I don't belong, can't you tell? This place must be hell. No more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land.
I don't know what happened there, guys. Something went nuts with OBS. I mean, it just like jacked up real bad. Don't know what happened. Sorry. I wish I did. Uh, that was nuts. That was crazy. That was hmm. Well, welcome. Welcome to the show. Apparently my OBS decided or Streamlabs, whatever, it decided to like freak out there for a minute. That's okay. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's all right. How is everyone out there in the world tonight? Hopefully everybody's doing really well. It's Wednesday night. So we're going to be talking some good stuff tonight. We'll probably have somebody up to do a guest. I don't normally do actual guests on Wednesday nights. It does happen occasionally with like when we have Scott on and some of the other guys. They're pretty cool, and it's good to have people on. But tonight it's I don't have anyone in particular in mind as a guest, and that's fine. Um, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. So TR Finley, there's an interesting thing about that I've noticed that um, it seems like the more we keep adding to the streams, the worse it gets. And sometimes it may just be that YouTube itself is having issues because um, everything was running absolutely smoothly there. I went to do the transition between scenes and it froze up. I don't know. I don't know what happened. So I mean, it should transition pretty smooth. Um, like I can go back to my intro screen and transition, and there's the intro screen right there. And then I can come back to the live screen and transition, and bam, there I am again. It just froze up, man. I don't know. I don't know what happened, man. It was very strange. Very strange. But that's okay. Whatever. It's things happen. We'll just move on. Whew. It's, guys, it's been busy. I mean, just straight busy the last few weeks, last few days. I've got tons of streams starting at 8 o'clock too. I noticed that where I was once all by myself, now it's like everybody decides to start at 8 o'clock. Fuckers. It's all right. It's all right. Is what it is. Intel Wild, good to see you. 13, good to see you, sir. Um, TR Finley, great. Great to see you as well. Let's see who else is out there. We've got Michelle Nayakas in the house. That's cool. Tiki Tack is in the house. Awesome. Awesome. Damien, our parkour guy, he's in the house. Believe in Yourself, BIY, is out there. And I'm sure there's some other folks out there. 9 o'clock Eastern is the best. I can't. Yeah, 2100 is just tough, man. It's tough. Yeah, I've noticed that too, Damien. It's I don't know. I don't think YouTube is the problem. I thought it was for a while. I don't know if it's YouTube. I think that the amount of people who are streaming overwhelm their local networks, which I should not have a problem with on my network. My network should be solid, rock solid. As a matter of fact, one of the ways that I know if I'm having a problem is if my stream starts slowing down or lagging or something, and then I will have a technical difficulty in my equipment because that should never happen. Yeah, SL is getting saturated. Yeah, it's probably true. It's probably true. Guys, it has been a hell of a week, right? We had the CEO get whacked, and now that guy's been caught. He's a nut job. I mean, like Like I don't, like I throw that term around quite a bit, nut job, but that guy is legit nut job. And he ain't playing around, you know? He's and what's interesting is everybody was kind of like, ki- man, it's interesting to me because you know, on the one hand, that guy has a boatload of money, but then the other, he's mad because of his, the thing with his mom, which anybody honestly would be mad about. But at the same time, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. That sounds like something Anson Knowles would say. Promise. Promise. That sounds just like something Anson Knowles would say. So, we had the CEO. That guy got caught way quicker than I thought he would. Um, the and we're learning a lot of interesting things about that dude. Then we had what else we had this week? We've had XRP has gone nuts. We've had a couple of different. The 60 Minutes thing came and went, no big deal. And then this morning, there was an announcement through the New York financial office, and it went nuts yesterday over that, and drove up pretty hard, and then it kind of stabilized. It's still pretty stable right now, I think. But XRP is getting ready for a move, I think, man, and that's interesting because Bitcoin's been fighting a little bit. It's and Bitcoin, but it is still even in a, with what looks like a bullish sentiment. Even Bitcoin seems to be poised for a little bit of a move. And let's see what else we've had. I mean, we had the whole thing with Assad. I mean, that's crazy. Um, you know, it's been a week, guys, and it's only Wednesday, bro. Broskies, it's only Wednesday. I had the whole show the other night, Prime on Prime's Twitch show channel. That's getting better and better. Those guys. The one guy was kind of weird, which was weird. It's interesting because he should be on my side, but I felt like he was just kind of partially on my side, and he's very interesting. Kind of look at it. Penny was found not guilty. Yeah, for sure. That was I didn't see it. I swear I literally, like, the last thing I heard, and I kind of tuned it out afterwards, was that he was that they were doing a hung jury mistrial, weren't going to be able to go forward with it. I could have sworn that it was over, man. Like this guy is, they're going to hang him in jail or not hang him, but we're going to throw him in jail for a little while, and then uh, kick him out the door, or have he would get murked in jail or something like that. That guy, he's going to walk free, man, as he should. Um, I've had that happen, dude. It's been a wild ride the past few weeks. And that's just the stuff that comes to the top of the head, man. There's way more stuff going on out in the world. Is the world is very interesting. So, Angry Casper, what is up? He did lose. That's true. That's very true. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to stop my video for a second. All right. There we go. Is that better? Yeah, it's good. That's good. Oh, wait. No, did not. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Having just trying to get everything caught up for the time being. Yeah, that's true, Casper. That's true. Good evening, Cheryl. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. And things are actually going really interesting for me as well. I have a lot of things going on. With this year is going to be a year where we have my wife and I have decided that we're going to potentially buy another business. We've started along with some other folks. We've started a fund, an investment fund. Give me 1 second again, guys. Sorry about that. All right. Sorry about that. Just some minor interruptions. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. So, yeah, we have my wife and I. We're going to do some cool stuff business wise, which we had not actually. I hadn't thought that we would do, but I was kind of hoping that we would go this direction and over a couple of years, but now we're doing it, and it's going to be interesting. And there's never a dull moment, guys. It's just I find it really interesting that young people especially feel like that they can have all of this time to relax and to have recreational activities and all of that, but man, I don't see it. I don't see it. I work hard every day, man. It's pretty terrible, to be honest. um and at the end of the day, it is what it is. There's just nothing that can be said about it. It should be a gendered statement. Maybe that's true. The I think at the end of the day, we there's a reality that we all deal with, and that is, regardless of whether or not you think women can work as good as well as men, or regardless of the fact that they can or cannot, which I personally believe that um, they can get close. But the reality is, everyone has a different personality, and trying to fight against that personality is a recipe for disaster. And that's an interesting dynamic. You know what I mean? It's like when we talk about, hey, this is a recipe for disaster, or you know probably going to fail at that. Different people have different meanings for that. And I got to be honest with you guys, I keep looking around and I keep hearing the same rhetoric over and over. I keep hearing people telling young men that they can go out and short circuit the system, act outside the system, or some other catchphrase, and somehow that's going to let these young men become better, right? Millionaire Bachelor, right? Like Millionaire Bachelor is one of those jackwads that comes out and spews a bunch of nonsense, that sounds good maybe. Um the But at the end of the day, he doesn't know jack shit. He's going to be poor in 10 years if he makes it 10 years without running out of money. And by poor, look, I'm not wishing ill will on him. I'm just saying, what is he doing? Where's he going? What advice is he giving that is actionable? K2, keep on trucking. Actually, one of the businesses that I'm looking at buying right now is a truck driving school. No shit, really doing it. Well, I mean, I don't think we're going to buy it because their numbers are whack. But that's okay. Did I see the 4'10" woman try to prove how tough she was on whatever last night? It was hilarious. No, I went to bed. I'm sorry. I can't watch whatever anymore. Guys, I really want to, and it makes me sad. Actually, it makes me absolutely sad in a lot of ways but I just don't have the time anymore to watch whatever. I don't have time to I don't have time to chat with Brixton. Um, like I have, and part of that, I mean, part of that's just me, just me being a weird dude. And um, the I don't know, man. On some level, I feel like I should be on there to support two righteous dudes, that go out and do the hard work for everyone. And on the other side of it, I've had enough, man. Like whatever's whatever. I would really love to figure out how to make it work so that I was able to use whatever to grow my channel. But the problem is I don't deal in degeneracy. I don't I'm not a drama channel, right? Like we don't do business here. This is a continental, man. We come in here, we talk about ideas, we exchange ideas. We might talk a little shit to each other. Um, but business doesn't get done here, right? We go elsewhere for that. Maybe that's my mistake. Maybe I should change it up. We are going to I am going to host a debate between a couple of our members live, and two dudes I like, two and two dudes that both been on the stage here, and I don't agree with everything either of them say, to be honest with you, but they're both good dudes, and it's going to be really, really cool. I'm not really sure when that debate's going to happen, but I'll keep you guys up to date on it. And while I'm kind of distracted and pausing, let me remind everybody that the grift must continue. Guys, this is getting to the point where it's becoming harder and harder for me to um, come out here and do these shows, because at the end of the day, um, time is money, and the time I spend here is not generating a lot of money. Part of that's my fault. I'm not pulling the crowd that I should be pulling. I still think I'm shadow banned. I still think that my algorithm is jacked. Um, Maybe I'm just that boring. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the content needs some tweaking, and I'm open to that. But uh, at the end of the day, you know, got to get. Yeah, that's true. Angry Casper. Some things are for money. Some things are for karma. Um, both of those things are true, but unfortunately, um, we got to. At some point, the grift must continue. All right, let me hang on. I got to catch up with you guys. Sorry I fell behind. Angel Berber in the house. Good to see you, sir. K2, keep on trucking. Sweet. Yeah, I don't think we're going to buy it, though. Their numbers don't make sense. And if the numbers did make sense, it'd be a good deal, you know, but the numbers don't make sense. And I don't know that I want to run a truck driving school. But matter of fact, we could talk about that. We could 100% talk about, how did you, for example, how did you get your CDL, and how did you figure out which school you wanted to go to? Millionaire crybaby, yeah, absolutely, man. Whoa, there goes my camera being all weird because I'm wearing sunglasses. There's my eyes. It's also a little dimmer in here than normal. See if we can pop that up. Maybe. Wait, why is that not working? A lot of technical difficulties tonight. Oh, I know why. Come on, get my face. If it ain't one thing, it's three more. All right, stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by while you listen to this I don't have any elevator music. Sorry, guys. You're just gonna have to just hang out for a second. There we go. Back just like that. Let's see. You were put in timeout on Sarah's channel for bringing up the Lyndon Powell famous train in the chat. Oopsie. Not sorry. Not sorry. You know, people have things. People have things that are things. Need more platform to disagree or even share opposing ideas. That's true. I don't know though. I feel like we've got a lot of platforms. The problem is that people say that, but they don't do it. Like I'm okay with somebody coming in and saying whatever, obviously, because like for example, I don't agree with Michelle's lifestyle. I respect Michelle. I think she's awesome. I made her a mod. I think that honestly, I think she can help the channel grow a lot if I can get her to be more involved. And at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with her. I don't even have a problem with her lifestyle because it's not me. That's her business. But just because we disagree on that doesn't mean we can't get along. It just means that we disagree on that. The problem is though, if you go to somewhere like um, any random channel that we could name, and you say something that the host disagrees with, he's going to throw you out. His mods are going to jump you. You're going to be beat up a little bit. You know. Sure get a lot out of this space. Oh wait, but it's not worth whatever. Automation is coming. That's true. I defend that guy as a data point better than he could. Which guy? Angry Casper. Sorry, I'm catching up. Kind of not deserved though. Forgot my glasses. Yeah. Guy being a millionaire moron. Yeah. Hey, it's Michelle. Didn't know you were here. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can throw me that on the Discord. Um, I actually, when I said that just now, I did not know Michelle was here. Welcome, Michelle. How are you? Um, yeah, Michelle is awesome. She's a good person. If she wasn't a good person, yeah, that would be different. But it's interesting that people just can't seem to just be able to disagree and not take it so personally that they want to destroy the other person. Now, what I do, like the other night with MB, a little different in that I'm doing it because of fun, right? It was entertaining to destroy MB. Plus, he was wrong and he was lying. And those two things we no one should tolerate liars. I mean, you're wrong if you do that. You really should not tolerate liars. And if people are going to lie, so here's the thing. As a matter of fact, it's a perfect parallel. The reason I get along with Michelle, the reason I helped Michelle a while back, the reason that I will always, until she does something to prove me wrong, I will always back Michelle up, and I will always say that she's a good person. And the reason for that is because she could have lied to me about her lifestyle. She could have lied about many things, but every step of the way, as near as I can tell, she's been honest and forthcoming. And if she says, "Hey, I don't want to answer that," she says, "Hey, I don't want to answer that." And we give her that respect. If she says, "No, I'll talk about that," she will talk about it within limits. This is how proper discourse is done, right? At the end of the day, everybody's a winner, especially me. But for whatever reason, I'm not really sure why, we seem to have a bunch of babies on the internet. I don't know. So you wouldn't throw me out, Damien. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I didn't really come on to talk about that tonight, but that's fine. That's fine. Is what it is. So we, yeah, changes happen all the time. The week has been wild in the news. The Everything is crazy out there. Um, you know, I just can't get over some of the stuff I've heard this week. I was on Glenn's earlier, and the guy was like raving about, how, well, he wasn't really raving. He was talking about how, he believed in God, but he didn't read the Bible, and he was just basically defining his own God or something. And really sounded like he was high, like way high, like super, super high. Maybe he wasn't. I don't know. Not for me to say. But that was wild, Michelle. That was crazy. Mister, how about you, sir? Sir, I was just saying that one of the businesses that we're looking at buying is a truck driving school. It's a truck driving school that it's an interesting dynamic to me because several reasons. You have a lot of equipment. The way that they're running their business is interesting, and I have some questions. Probably not going to buy it, to be honest. They want about 2.3 for it. It's probably not worth that. The way they're getting to that valuation is a little wild and a little woolly and a little bit kind of strange. Um, so I'm looking at three companies right now, really get to buy, guys. And actually, I say three. I'm looking around. I'm actively looking for companies to buy. Um, so your boss makes a crap load of money. Do you work for a truck driving school, Mister? I thought you were a short haul guy. Um, but because if you work for a truck driving school, we need to talk. Um, but so one of the businesses I just said, truck driving school. Okay. The other is a plastics injection, or well, it's not just injection molding, a plastics production company, make products for a lot of different people. They make tooling for other companies to make plastic stuff. It's interesting. It's not really uh, it's private ownership. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm looking at buying a truck driving school, Mister. So um and so kind of what I'm looking at here is the one that stands out is a glazier, a glass company, commercial glass, windows, doors, all that kind of stuff. And guy, it's pretty good business. It looks like I think it's going to cost me like 1.7, 1.8. They're cash flowing about 750. Um, Now the owner doesn't take a cut. He has some things that are paid for, like his he owns a property and pay a lease to him to company leases that property from him, so he gets paid there a little bit. He gets paid. I think they give him like he takes 4 grand out of the company for um, car for automotive or something. I don't know, but 4 grand a month or something out for something. I'm not really sure. And the it's a so it's a good company. A lot of room for growth. Can probably grow up to about 3 to 5 mil. And grow up to 5 mil, I can sell it to a hedge fund. There goes my camera again. Maybe I just need to switch back to my standard glasses, which is fine, or no glasses. I don't really need them. Um, so if we're looking at, you messaged me on Discord, I'll take a look at it in a minute. And there's other things too. I could invest more money into this show. There is an opportunity for me to spend a decent chunk of change that would end up being more of a promotional gig than anything. I don't think I'm ready for it. I don't know that I'm quite polished and whatnot enough to be there. So yeah, it's interesting right now. The stuff that I'm doing, and everybody I think has interesting things. I think something's going. Obviously, there's an ebb and flow to all of these things. For example, I haven't seen Arthur Daya around in a while, mainly because I really don't talk about feminism and some other things I think that she finds interesting to argue about or discuss. And we just haven't been they just haven't been on top on our list. We've been talking about the election, we've been talking about all these other things. Now we've been talking for now about 2 weeks. We've been talking about the pardon, right? They're still talking about that. So it's very interesting. It's been a very interesting couple of weeks, and this has been a very long kind of rambling intro, but that's okay. Uh, oh yeah, there we go. Gotcha. Yep. So, what do you guys think about insurance? Because they just in theory that's why that guy got whacked was insurance, and yeah, what do you think? What do you guys think? Do you think am I on X? I am on X. I am. I'm not. I don't go there very often, but I am on there. Okay. I'm reading K2's deal. Yeah, I got you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting, K2. That's interesting. Um, yeah, I don't know. Uh, do we feel like that there should be transparency in the cost? Glazer, Glare, one percenter. Do you think there ought to be? Do you guys feel like that? Or I, because all right, look, I'm gonna instead of asking you, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. So the way I feel about it is, first of all, everything that you do through insurance should be transparent, and I mean transparent, transparent. I mean the kind of transparent that you wonder if you're telling people too much, right? Or if you know too much about how the industry works. You should be saying, "Stop, stop! I don't want to know anymore. I got it. I got it." Instead, what happens is you just sign the paper. You've been through that. Has anyone in the audience been through this, right? Where you go in and it's an emergency usually, like, if you're going to the hospital, it's a pretty serious thing. You're going either in an ambulance, you're going to the emergency room first and now you're being admitted to something else, or you were diagnosed with something, or your leg was going to fall off or something, and you for the past 2 months you've been dreading the day when you've got to report to the hospital to get uh, get the job done, right? And you ever notice that they really don't tell you how much it's going to be? I mean, yeah, like, look, if it's that you're going there, months, this has been a month, been a couple of months long deal that's been planned out, and um, you're going through all of the motions, that you go through, then yeah, maybe that, somebody's probably told you, oh yeah, this is $100,000 procedure, but they never give you the whole cost, right? And then well, I can tell you that, Glare, I can tell you that. So, um, so why is it? And we should be asking ourselves, why are these things, right? Why ought it be this way? Because we have no control over the is, right? It just is this way, and there's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter if you want to pay or don't want to pay or whatever. No, that's irrelevant, pal. It's absolutely irrelevant because you're going to pay or somebody's going to pay. So, and why is it that all of these procedures, which at one point in time, I apologize, guys. Obviously, I'm looking for something, can't find it. Being a fucking shitty ass host right now. There you go, YouTube. You can continue my shadow ban because I've said that. But so when we talk about this stuff, right? Yeah, that's right. Trump did want to do that. That's true. Why is it that a kidney stone, which we've made simple to deal with now, right? Like they don't even go in for surgery anymore. They use ultrasound to break up the kidney stone most of the time, right? Like most of the time, that's what they do. And then if they can't do that, then they do something else, right? Like they do. Then they'd have to do the thing with the robot. They go all the way up into your kidneys through your urethra and all that. And it's like a 1-day procedure. Why is it that procedure costs so much? Right? Like it's not their first day. It's not the first one they've done. It's usually like the 100th. It might be the 100th that day. Why? Why is it that it cost and continues to cost so damn much? And look, the doctors will say, well, it's the insurance. The insurance keeps raising these premiums and we have to pay them. And so that's it. Well, okay, sure. Maybe that's true. I don't know. Is it true? I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I'm an idiot, right? Like I don't know this stuff. It's one of those things where at some point you would think that this stuff would become cheaper and it would become easier, right? Like it would stop being that it takes a court order basically to get a procedure done. You're waiting 6 months sometimes, right? And so why is this stuff cost so much? Right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just an idiot on the internet. I don't know anything. But I know people hate insurance. And it's interesting because people will dick ride this idea that, well, people hate their policy, or pardon me, people love their policy, but they hate the insurance game. They love the insurance they have. Well, they're sure as fuck not going to say this is the crappiest insurance I ever had, publicly. That's for sure. So I've heard this, TR Finley. So I didn't know this. I picked this up the other night. I did not. I had heard it, but I wasn't sure it was a thing, and now I'm pretty sure it's an actual thing. The government puts a cap on what insurance can pay for a procedure, right? So they put a cap on, a kidney, whatever is X amount. And that's just all it'll pay. That's all it's ever going to pay. That's just the end of it. Can't do any better. Ain't going to do any worse. See if these are better. Yeah, these are all right. Man, all the problems tonight. And hey, Mikey Balls, good to see you, sir. Good to see you. I saw I was watching your show earlier on Assad, man. Good job, buddy. Good job. Mikey Balls, you want to come up here? That'd be great. Why don't you come up and hang out? Somebody get that man a link. Somebody get that man a link. So I don't know enough about insurance to really continue down this path, other than I just found out that the government, the government, our elected officials who are certainly qualified to render an opinion on what should be paid out for medical costs. The government has said that this is how much you can charge for this procedure. So the doctors in hospitals then pile on procedures. If they can't pile on a procedure, they pile on medications and aftercare. And there may and I've got to be honest with you guys, I had never actually given any credence to this claim, but there very well may be truth to the claim that doctors never want you to get well. Because then they would lose that paying customer, and they need that paying customer. I've never agreed with that. I've never thought that was correct. However, more and more, it seems like it very well could be a real thing. So, yeah. I agree. Government should not have gotten involved. Yeah, Big Pharma definitely doesn't want to. Yeah. I wish Arthur Daya was here. She could give some insight on all of this, right? Like the one person who could give us like model insight, and nowhere to be found. She's probably angry that I haven't been on whatever as well. No snide comments, no ripping retorts. Well, that's okay. Yeah. Well, Big Pharma is a big deal. I mean, we all know that for sure. We all know that. Yeah, that's true. There's no way a doctor would ever rat out an insurance company. I mean, well, I shouldn't say ever, but it would be tough to get a doctor to rat out an insurance company. It's just too much on the line. They would have to do it in such a way that they would pretty much be guaranteed to keep their career. And right now, I don't know that such a thing exists. So I didn't really mean to get on the subject of insurance tonight, but that's okay. We'll keep it. That link won't work here. Let me help you out, bro. I got you. I got you, man. I got you. I got you, Mikey. I think I do. I'm missing there you go. I got you, Mikey. I believe we got a raid from Mikey Balls too. I think I missed it because I'm on the wrong page. Did we get a raid from Mikey? Well, there's a lot of things. I mean, the hospital splits a cost, TR. Yeah, that's true. And there have been allegations. I don't know how serious they are of double billing and that kind of thing. I mean, I don't really want to get into all of that. What's up, Mikey? How are you, sir?
How's it going, kind sir?
Man, it's going. It's going. Just having a night.
Yeah, I was total struggle bus over here, so sorry about that.
Oh, you're cool, man. Dude, I've been struggling. I started my stream and I had everything rolling like really good, and for some reason, man, my Streamlabs OBS
Yep.
crashed.
You got to love it. Everything's great. You test everything out beforehand. Everything's great. The second you hit go live, it goes to shit.
Yeah,
I
it
know.
really, dude, it really did, man. Did you rate us, Mikey?
I did not. I was
Oh,
live
okay.
earlier. Unfortunately, I didn't see that you were live when I
That's all
did
good.
the,
That's all good.
but I would have as a, you're one
Yeah,
of the
totally
favorite
cool, man.
people.
Yeah, let me shout out Siege D here. $5 comes in from Siege D. He's on the road, guys. He's doing dog stuff. He's helping dogs out. Here's a few bucks. Grid One. We know you haven't been tuning into whatever lately because you're running low on Mrs. Motorsports Lounge money. No, that's actually not it.
It's not the cap.
Yeah, the actual reason why I haven't been tuning into whatever is I've got a lot on my plate, bro. Got a lot. Like, it's really interesting, Mikey. I don't know how you spend your day, man, but I spend my day like most people. You wouldn't believe it, man. If I told you, I'll walk you through a couple of days, man. Like, I get up at 5:30 usually. Sometimes I have to get up at 3:30 and let the dog out. And hang around for like 10, 15 minutes till the dog comes back in and then go back to sleep. I get up at 5:30. If I'm lucky, I get to have a few minutes to myself. If not, that's fine. Sometimes I'll go back to sleep, but not usually. At about 6, I don't know, like 6:40 or whatever, about an hour after I get up, I have to take my kid to meet the bus. Right?
So you're super early bird.
Yeah. So I take my kid to meet the bus. I come back. I usually work in my garage for an hour if I can, doing something simple, whatever it is. If I'm working on the airplane or I'm working on a car or working on a bike, whatever my little project for the day is, I start early and I just try and just do a few. If nothing else gets done that day, I try and do a few little things. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get in there.
Feel productive. Like, hey, I
yeah.
You know.
Well, how how do you eat an elephant, right? Like one bite at a time, right? So when you're sitting there and you're looking at, like, I got an engine and a million pieces. I got like 4 engines to build. I got an engine sitting in pieces in my garage right now.
Oh man, that sounds like a good project.
Yeah.
To me,
well, I'm gonna go live tomorrow. I think. I may go live tomorrow afternoon or evening, and do and show how I'm, why I'm doing what I'm doing, all the differences between a standard VW car engine and a VW flight engine.
Totally.
And how we're going to hang this on the airplane and all that kind of stuff. So, and I was going to do that last Thursday night. The problem is that the equipment, I didn't have the equipment I needed. I didn't have a wireless mic. Right. So I wasn't going to like walk around with a mic in front of my face like a dumbass.
Totally.
Yeah. I'm
not. You gotta have the right equipment for it. Right.
Yeah. I'm not that pretentious, man. But anyway, so in the morning I do a little bit of work. Right. And a lot of times I'll do that work and I'll come and I'll stop for a few minutes. I'll come in and talk on Glenn's stream if he's streaming. I knock out like 20, 30 minutes. And then I take my other son to preschool. Now, most of the time my wife is still sleeping.
Wow.
My wife does not get up early.
Sounds like my ex.
Right?
Yeah. Take all the kids to school. I was that dad. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm that dad, man. Well, I take an active role. So
right.
I drop my kid off school. If I got to run some errands, I'll run those errands. I come back and then I go back to work. And either I will, like today I was on Glenn's stream, and the whole time I was on Glenn's stream, I was rebuilding my
I heard that. I was listening.
Reloading. I was building my reload for I have a new bullet feeder.
Mr. Boulay and the Department of Numismatics donated
I
$10
know one.
super chat. This medical grift is sponsored by the medical industrial complex. Profitability the military industrial complex has, they decided to cash in.
I don't know why we
Preventing
have an
visits
echo.
by what?
W. Mr. Boulay.
Mr. Boulay, that's awesome. I'm going to trigger it again and see if I got rid of the echo. Did I get rid of the echo? Yeah, there it goes.
Mr. Boulay and the Department of Numismatics donated
Got rid
$10
of the
super
echo.
chat. This medical
Yeah, there's
grift is
no echo.
sponsored by the
I just
medical
wanted to test
industrial
it.
complex.
Make sure.
Profitability the military
It's not.
industrial complex has, they decided to cash in. Prevent ER visits by what?
All right. Did you guys no echo that time, right?
No echo that time.
No echo in the chat. All right, cool. Yeah, I've got it. It's real sensitive, you know. And anyway, whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of back
Thank you,
pieces to
Mr.
make
Boulay.
this work.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Boulay. I appreciate that. Yeah, so yeah, the entire time that dude was rambling on about how he is his own God, and you know, he could find Jesus in drawings of the brain. Was the entire time that was going on. I was putting. I have a pretty cool reloading press for doing pistol ammo, and I got a new automatic bullet feeder.
Nice.
And I was setting that up, and I've got to go now, and some of my settings are off now, so I have to spend like a day setting that thing up. That's okay. I got it all assembled, you know, it's all in one piece now. And I did that today, you know, they needed to get done, you know.
No, I heard you in there and you were destroying worldviews. It was fantastic. You're like, where do you think rights come from, dude? Where do you think rights come from at this point?
Yeah.
I'm like, get him, Grid. I was in the chat.
Like, he was like, well, by observing the world, and God's in everyone. And I'm like, so God is the Somali warlord that kills everybody.
And he said yes. And I'm like, oh my God, like what is wrong with this guy? Yeah, totally.
Yeah, let me address this. So the problem with the character count is I can't fix it on one YouTube or Streamlabs 1 allows you to do a longer TTS. I think that's why Brian quit letting people do TTS on YouTube, because it wouldn't because you can have a pretty long post on YouTube, but you can't but the TTS will only read X amount of it. And I'm still tweaking that. I'm trying to figure out a way I can just make it work. I just haven't been able to yet. So I'm still working on it, TR. Still working on it.
You know what?
Good evening, Mr. Boulay. Good evening, sir.
I find very interesting that even though these programs like Talk Studio work together with Streamlabs, that it doesn't show on my side and our side like something's popping up.
The reason it doesn't is because you can't hear anything on YouTube. Otherwise, there would be feedback.
True.
Because you would hear it, because it'd be my voice doing all that. So
right.
Yeah. So that's why.
It's like a layer of that after Talk Studio. Right.
Right. So that's that's the thing. Angry Casper. I've offered to pay people to fix it. They just can't fix it. So
only so much you can do on that.
Yeah. So then after I listened to that guy for like hour, it seemed like all day, but it was only a few hours. I had to. Well, I started off the morning. I came on Glenn's show this morning. I went out in the shop and worked. I came back in. I had a couple of phone calls because we're trying to buy some businesses. We got 3 potential now, but I'm still looking, man. I'm still, we're going to end up spending probably somewhere around 200, probably about 200 grand, maybe. Well, no, pardon me, not 200
to fund.
We're going to probably spend 2 million, maybe 3 on a business.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn. No, that's some heavy weight. Getting ready to
Yeah,
fuse.
yeah.
Get ready to fuse and take a part ownership, huh?
Yeah, well, no, yeah, we want to buy the whole thing. So,
Oh, buy
we're
out.
looking at, like I'm looking at a glass company in Knox. I can't actually, I shouldn't say where it is.
Mhm.
I'm looking at a glass company. It's about 1.8 million is what he's asking for it. Makes about it right now. I mean, if he hits his marks, he cash flowed 750 grand this year. That's
Cash
balling.
flow. Yeah.
Cash flowed. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
So
lot of money.
so he pays himself out of that. Right. So
Well,
he'll
of
pay
course.
the owner will pay himself probably 450 grand this year.
That's a lot of
Isn't
muley.
as much, it sounds like a lot, but it's not, it's less than what it's less than where I was, but
But
not a bad place to re-enter the market.
you get your money back in what, 3-4 years? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like, man, that's
Yeah.
killer.
Well, the way it works is that what I'm trying to do is I don't want to sound like an evil conservative capitalist
Capitalist,
douchebag,
yeah, capitalist
but I'm a
nationalist.
fucking capitalist, dude.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely. Through and through.
my entire deal right now is like we're building this. We should really talk money. So we're building this fund to do real estate where we put about I don't know, we're gonna about 3 million. We're gonna double our money by the time everybody's paid out. We'll all make 100 grand with none of our own money being involved.
Wow.
And very little actual like work.
Using the bank's money?
No, we have investors. We have investors. We have a
That's right.
So it's like if you had 75, sorry, so like let's say you were looking, you had like 75 grand poking around and say that's not like a that's where you have enough to do something cool, but you don't have enough
But not
to
quite
do
enough.
something, but not something really cool, right?
Yes.
And a lot of people just put that in a 401k. Well, if they can, because they max out a 401k, but they want to put it somewhere, maybe put an index fund, maybe buy a Bitcoin or two, whatever. But what we're doing is we're like, hey, it's a $75,000 minimum buy-in, and the goal is to double that inside of 3 years. We want to do it in 2 years, but 3 years. And so who's not going to do that?
Yeah, if I can flip 75 and double it.
Yeah, if you can turn 75 grand into 250 inside of 48 months.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Or 36 months.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Right.
I would do it.
And so that's one of the things, and we do a new one every year. So they're cascading, right? So
it's like ever evolving?
Well, it just cascades. So like this fund comes due, this investment fund comes due in 2 years or 3 years, whenever we cash out. We have one that starts next year that will come due the following year. Another one that we fund the third year that comes due so it's
right. So you use the profits from everybody,
well,
it works for everybody.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We seek new investors where people could roll over their money,
sure,
or could invest more, but that's not the purpose of the
mission.
That's not the purpose of the mission. Yeah,
got you.
And then so privately, I'm still buying houses, and now I'm trying to buy a business, and the way that what I want to do is I need to find a business that's making either $1 million or just under $1 million today.
That's a lot.
And yeah, it is. And so, but if they have $1 million, they're cash flowing $1 million, right? That's pretty good.
It's fantastic.
If they can, so if I can build that, so I can go and I need a business that's scalable, right? So if I can go in and build that business out to where we go from say so if we're going from 3 million in sales a year or 5 million in sales a year, cash flowing about a million, 750 to a million, if we can take that to where we're doing 7 or 8 million a year, or even maybe just 6 million a year, if we take it and move it up and cash flow in that $3 to $5 million a year,
Mhm.
then I can sell the business.
Right. That's even bigger money. Yep.
Yeah,
Good
I can
flip.
sell that business to a PA, or pardon me, a PE or somebody like that, so that we can, then again, and it's just simply, once we buy that business and we go buy another business, we do the same thing over and over again. I don't want to become an expert in any of it. I just want to own it. I want to hire good people, and I want to make everybody a lot of money.
Hey,
So,
everybody needs a cash guy. Everybody needs that
right.
management side. Everybody, to make that work, you need to have that equation.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
need guys like you in capitalist states, to be honest. We
Right.
need that.
Yeah.
We need that. So we appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Alex Summers, buy the business I work for so we can get better management. Actually, that's actually one of the things I'm looking at. Is I think the owner of this glass company is the bottleneck.
Mm.
And I think that if I remove him and I hire 2 people in his place, I'll double the
Yeah, you
the
think
revenue.
he's preventing the actual profit?
No, I think that one person can't do 2 people's job as
Oh,
well as 2
got you.
people can. And so he is currently acting as both the manager and the sales guy.
Oh shit. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
do both.
Yeah.
You gotta
And
have
so
2 different jobs.
he's there. And so so if I hire a manager to manage the staff, if I hire a guy that works in a dealership or a hotel or whatever that really understands organization, logistics, getting shit done in time, I hire that guy and plug him in as manager, give him the tools he needs, then he's going to knock that out of the park.
Mm.
Now, the same thing, if I go out and I hire a guy that can sell, snow cones to Eskimos, then, I plug that guy in, right?
That's me. I can sell a pen to a pen manufacturer. You know what I
There
mean?
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I can, you get the sales guy that can do the, go out and understands how to sell, and even better, that they get so good at their job that we have to form a sales team where he has 3 guys working for him because he's generating so much business, right? Like, that's the idea. So not to get too far down this path, but yeah, you're right. And here's one of the problems, or not problems, but one of the things is that there are guys out there that could do it, but obviously the owner of this company is not hiring them. And the other thing is that while I agree that you need somebody that's been in the industry, most of who this guy sells to are contractors.
Mm.
Like almost 90 something percent of his sales are to contractors or other entities that already know what they want, right? So at that point, you're just going out and finding new business. One of the real problems is that they haven't gotten into residential or non-commercial projects. So that's kind of a problem.
Did they ever approach like any government contracts?
No, not that I'm aware of. Well, yeah, no, I can't talk about that.
Right. Sorry. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
totally.
look at there. That's right. That's right. That's right. I'm a superintendent for a general contractor. You're the exact guy that we would be selling to.
Yeah. So that's my brother right there. He's in Texas.
Is it really?
He's in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Super good.
He's the exact guy that we would, and we would probably hire somebody like that as the sales guy.
Yeah. He's A1 in his field, what he does.
Yeah. And so that's, and most of it, and I'm not going to get into it, but so that's the company that I'm leaning towards. The truck driving school, it sounds cool. They got a lot of equipment. It's all old equipment. which, as you would think, because they're letting students beat the crap out of it for hours and hours. And the real problem, man, is with it is their numbers don't really. That's interesting information. I like that, because that's one of the selling points of the company, is that he doesn't do residential because he doesn't have the staff for it.
Mm,
So
interesting.
yeah, that's what he says. So
Totally above my pay grade.
yeah, no, it's I mean,
yeah.
hey, I didn't know anything. I only started figuring things out a few days ago.
Hey,
but,
man,
but that's what I do. So
that's
so
what
what
you
I
do.
do,
That's your whole deal.
I literally will sit there and somebody say, okay, I don't know anything about truck driving schools.
Right.
I became an expert on truck driving schools in the last 36 hours.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what you do. That's what you do. Find opportunity. Hey, you need some funding. I can make money. You scratch my back. I scratch your back. Works out. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So like with the truck driving school it's like they don't do any advertising. Like not even billboards on the side of the highway saying come to our truck driving school. They don't have any contracts with truck driving companies.
Mm. So it's individual jobs?
It's all word of mouth.
Oh, it's all word of mouth.
Yeah, all word of mouth. All their students come from word of mouth.
Is
what
this
they're
in
telling you.
This got to be in the South? You know what I mean?
No, actually it's in the Midwest.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's super interesting. Like and they're like the only truck driving school in their area of the state. Like you have to go like 5 hours in any direction to get to a truck driving school.
Damn.
And
that's ridiculous.
And the state they're in has passed or has not passed, but has gotten out of the business of certifying truck drivers. So they don't even do the examination. The state doesn't do the examination. You just authorized examiners do.
Wow. So you're just getting almost like the book side in the school almost. You're not getting.
Yeah, I get the school and so in theory, if I buy this school, I get all of the equipment. I get I get the business. It's making about. I mean, their numbers are fucked. I'm not even gonna get into numbers. But
right.
Make a decent chunk, and they're supposedly make a lot of money doing it. They need staff, is what they need. They need instructors.
So is that the number one
problem.
overhead for a company is usually employees?
I think. Well, no. Usually, employees are not overhead because to me, without the employees, you don't have anything.
True.
Right. The way that I ran my businesses before is, well, first of all, I'm a bad person to work for.
Right. You're a motherfucker. I get you. You're real staunch about your shit, real OCD. You know what you want, and I want it my way.
Yeah.
I'm paying you.
I am not a good guy to work for.
Yeah.
If I get there at 5:30 in the morning, if you're supposed to be there at 6, don't think you're gonna slip by.
Right. Damn straight.
Like, I'm gonna see that shit.
15 minutes is on time, or 15 minutes.
Right. No, that's right.
Time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, that's exactly. Yep. That's right. And so, my personal motto, if you will, was if I have to do it, why do I need you?
Yep. Why am I paying you if I can?
Why am I paying you if I'm the one that ends up having to fucking do it?
Yep.
And so, and you have no idea how many employees hate that. They absolutely
that's
hate
the point of the job.
I don't know. I don't know why they hate it.
I think it's
like this why they hate
mentality. Like
it is a mentality.
They're owed that just because they're there. Like, come on, you gotta actually contribute to the business to make money for yourself. It's a trickle down effect. If your boss is broke, then you're broke. So
sure.
I don't understand what the problem is.
Well, we'll get into that. Let me answer Smoking Spaceman. Smoking Spaceman, it's one of 3 businesses that I'm looking at this week to buy. We have a commercial glazier. There is the truck driving school, which is kind of on the low end. and there's a plastics company. The plastic company may be off the table because they don't call people back, and they're kind of crap. They're kind of full of shit. Well, not I think they're just hard to deal with because I think it's people who built the company and they don't really want to sell it, but they're so old they don't really have a choice but to sell it.
Right.
And then there's a couple other companies that are milling around. I look every day. I look literally every day. There's a racetrack in California in Riverside. You may have heard of it that I could
Which
buy.
one?
1.5. It's in Riverside.
Do you remember what
California.
it's named?
It's a road racing track in Riverside.
Okay, dope. I mean, I lived in Riverside County for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small track. They say it makes good money, but I could buy it 1.5. Numbers look good. I like racing, obviously.
It works, right? Passion.
And however, it's in California, dude.
Yeah.
Strike number one.
Yeah, the strike number one, the red tape bureaucracy that you're going to have to go through just to deal with it. Is it really worth it? Like the insurance and all the crap that you have to do in California, especially.
Yeah, and then let's see what else is there. So there's a racetrack in California. There's an air freight company in Oklahoma. Now it's expensive. It's $5 million. But it's pumping out, dude. It's cash flowing like 1.3, 1.4.
But, and I know that for you, you're not looking, okay, it's not just what they're making right here, right now. If they're capped out and that's the most that company can make, then you're like, you know what? That cash flow is nice, but I want to be able to make money in between and grow the business and then flip it and sell it. So you see a big potential from that 1.3 to you could see it growing to an immense amount, right?
Yeah. So there's the racetrack is probably a no because just location. The air freight company, it's probably it's on the bubble. They're making a ton of money, and it's in Oklahoma. It's close enough, right? Like that's no big deal. But it's a lot. It's 5.5. I think
that's a big money infusion.
That's a big nut. That's a big nut. And the thing is, I don't think I could sell it. I don't think I could build it up and enough to sell it to a PE. Right.
What makes you say that though? Why?
I didn't even know there was still a market for air freight.
Really? Okay.
I didn't know. No, I didn't know. And they say they stay busy as shit, but I didn't know that. I didn't even know that was a thing still.
That's funny.
And because we're talking about like do you ever I don't know, you're probably not old enough, but you ever watch the show Wings?
No.
Where they were what do they call it? Charter flights.
Okay.
Right. This is charter freight. This is like you have a motorcycle part that needs to get from A to B like today. And you pay these guys apparently a lot of fucking money.
I was that guy on the water for a minute.
Yeah.
I used to deliver to ships and shit out at sea with like an anchor. You know what I mean? Because they need that fucking anchor, and you know what I mean? Like there's nothing they can do. They can't move without it. They need to have it, and so
Same deal.
Yep. And it's special.
The airplane company, the air freight company, it's really, they have 3 airplanes. They've got some other equipment.
How big are the planes? Are they pretty decent size?
I mean, they're twins. So figure each airplane's at least 200, 300 grand right out of the gate, just in assets.
What's the range on those planes? Do you know?
Well, I'd have to look at the specific airplane.
Right.
And they didn't name them. So
sure.
Tiki Tax says, I'd love to do event management for a racetrack. See, that's interesting because the racetrack literally posted that they have weddings there. They host concerts there. They hold all of these events in addition to the races there. So it's, Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. 1.5 though, that seems like, and it's a leased it's leased real estate. If it was 1.5 with the real estate,
yeah, you're not getting the property with it.
yeah, I don't get the property. I just
You're
get
just getting the business.
Yeah, and and the problem with that is the way, I'd have to have a very ironclad lease because I wouldn't want to get kicked out 3 years from now.
Totally.
That would suck balls.
Mm.
But yeah, man. I mean, that's just. I know that for most people, I saw the comment, Alex Summers, that buying a business is so foreign to you. But here's the thing: a lot of people think that, and this is the this is a fucked up thing about our schooling. You should be thinking about it.
Yes, you're right.
You should be thinking about so the way that Glare, I believe it could be that one. I haven't signed the NDA to find out, but I believe that just from the pictures and stuff, that's what it is. So as a man or even a woman, what plan do you have for your life?
Work until you die.
Work until you die. Okay, that's solid. It's a plan.
Now, yeah, how does that really work for your generations, though?
I mean, your dad did it, right? Your dad did it. His dad did it.
Yep.
All that.
And I'm doing it now, but in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. It's worked for a long time.
Totally. Listen, that's why I told you right when I came in here about it is we need guys like you in this country. We need people that are willing to infuse their cash flow to be able to help out that business so that, listen, if I grow, I get a bigger piece of the pie as well. There's a lot of businesses that need that money and they're actively looking for it. They're like, man, if we can just get the proper investor all the time, nonstop, by the way, nonstop. So it's a great thing that he's doing, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, but it goes even beyond that. What? So what we're really talking about is where I could. Did I just freeze? No.
You've been freezing. You've been going in and out, but it's all right.
Really?
Yeah, it's all right.
Terrible.
I think it's probably you're on the wrong internet modem or something,
No, it should be good. It's weird. At any rate,
that's internet.
Could be. So at any rate, when you have most people should own a business during their lifetime, I believe, right? Like not everybody, but most people.
Mm-hmm.
It could be just a store, It doesn't have to be $1 million endeavor, right? But let's just say that you say, well, I couldn't do that. Okay. The way that you do it is by going out and working a job, making good financial choices, not throwing away $3,000 a month in alcohol and partying and drugs or whatever, I had a friend of mine who quit everything, quit smoking, drinking, all of it. And
because he got serious about money.
He couldn't believe how much he was really, truly spending in it.
Yes. Immense amount of money. Thousands.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I didn't believe it.
Yeah. No, it's insane.
I thought maybe he was spending like $30 a week.
No, not anywhere close.
$50 a week, something like that. No, right. No, dude, it's
like
$30
per 3 hours. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's probably what it reduced to.
Crazy, man. Like when he showed me what he had reduced down to, right? I was shocked, man. Shocked because it had never occurred to me that that's how expensive It really
You
was.
want to feed into your degeneracy? It's going to cost you a little bit of money, man. You better have some bread.
Apparently so. Apparently so.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Speaking of, cheers.
there you go. And so, but take a lesson from the people who went before and just buy a house early. You don't have
No
to be married
kidding.
to buy a house.
You're right.
You don't have to be married to buy a house. You don't
Get
have to buy a
serious
big
on
house.
property. Get serious on property.
Yeah,
Yep.
you don't have to buy a big house. You don't have to buy a 3-2 in a neighborhood that, doesn't suck. You could buy a 2-bedroom shack out in the woods somewhere. It's gonna be worth more than you paid for it, more than likely. And that money, and you can borrow against it. And that's where a lot of people get their money to start a business.
Yep.
And
On their own home. Yep.
most people do not do what I'm doing, right? Most people, if you want to be the guy, right? And I don't know what you do, Mike. I'm just going to say motors. I'm going to say that you would start a motorcycle shop,
Sure. That
right?
works.
And say that you had not lived in California your whole life, and you hadn't ripped your leg off, and you hadn't done some things, and maybe by now you mostly owned a house. Maybe you had, a couple of $100,000 in equity in a house,
Mm-hmm.
and you pull that out in a HELOC, and you go and rent you a location for a year, and
Yep.
you buy a bunch of merch and throw it in there, and get some signs.
And you're struggling for the first, 3-4 years.
Yeah, you're gonna struggle. You may struggle
Yep.
for the first 10 years.
You could absolutely.
But if you do that, and you don't have to be super successful either. You can. I mean, the reality is you can absolutely just be okay with everything.
Totally.
Um, and just you could be okay making, pulling 50, 60, 80 grand out of your business that you go to work every day, and you have 2 employees, and they get paid, you get paid, and you put a little bit back for a rainy day.
Yep.
But the thing
Absolutely.
is that at that point you were in control of your destiny.
Totally.
You can't be
Totally.
fired.
Most people don't have that, to be honest. And I think they should experience that. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just
Not everyone is a businessman, and I understand that. You know what I mean? Not everyone wants to
Sure.
necessarily own a business.
Well, most
But
people shouldn't.
right. But I
But
look at it as like very interesting. Like you're willing to put in like 40 years of commitment of working for somebody else, but you're not willing to sacrifice 3 years to make a business. Like I mean, 3 years, that should give you enough time to like in your life to be able to sacrifice somewhere and go like, let's go ahead and try and make this happen, and
yeah,
make that a destiny for not only you and your family, but for the generations after you. Like the whole point is to leave a legacy, right? But I not maybe people don't necessarily have the same worldview as I do. So I'm not gonna, put down anybody else's, but at the same token, I think it's a good thing to be able to have a little bit of control of like your destiny, just like you said.
yeah, and I just think that it's one of those really interesting things. I mean, to me, right? It's a very interesting thing to me that people just choose not to do it.
I think they're
And
just scared.
could be.
I think a lot of our decision making in general is based off of fear. You
I
know what I
wouldn't
mean?
just I would not disagree with that. I think that there's a very real.
Yeah. And I think that people we're look at a landscape right now where if you take away $1,000 from a lot of these people's accounts in America, you take $1,000, you have 56% of people that fell into bankruptcy. Like, dude, people cannot handle even $1,000 hit. Imagine trying to invest 75, 85 grand at that when that's what you're facing. It's like, man, how am I ever even going to get to the point of even having enough bread in my account to be able to even make this happen or whatever? It's a terrible landscape currently. A lot of people were obviously doing a lot better in business during the last Trump administration. We know that the economy was booming. And we saw what the last 4 years really gave us and how it treated a lot of these businesses. A lot of people went bankrupt. A lot of people just couldn't handle the heat. And it's unfortunate because a lot of these families that lost their businesses, they were 3-4 generations in, and they unfortunately just could not hold on anymore. Just
Well,
were
that's
not turning a profit anymore like
so
that.
that's actually one of the things that we're running into. One of the things that almost every owner that I'm talking to for these businesses, their retirement age.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
not selling this because they're 30 years
They're
old and it's their
forced.
yeah, they want to go play golf all day, right?
Right.
Like they
They're
don't want to
done.
get up every day and run a business, and they don't have anyone to leave it to, or if they do have someone to leave it to, they don't trust that person or
Right.
whatever it is.
Yep.
So
Doesn't deserve it, whatever the case is.
his shop boss is not a businessman at all. He's just good at what he does. That's why people come back even under the unorganized chaos. Sure, okay, I go with that. But I just, and I'm not saying that everybody should own a business. I say that I guess what I'm trying to say is that, look, if you're one of, especially if you're one of those that complains and is just really unhappy with the way things are, then, I mean, you kind of got to suck it up, like
Hmm.
there's
Get real.
no,
Like get
yeah,
real moment.
yeah, you need to suck it up because at some point you are going to um oh, the other company is an HVAC company, sorry. There's a fourth company. Um and
Mm,
so
damn.
yeah.
Keeping your eye open every day. Every
I
morning, right when you
yeah.
wake up, I know you're looking at every type of listing or whatever it would be called. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? For opportunity. Right.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 business or sites
Forums.
that
Like
sell,
forums. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm all over them. I'm like, that's I'm trying to figure out what I should, look at, what, the reality is. I'm trying to,
And how long too?
yeah.
Like, all right, well, how long would it take me to get to A to B? Right.
Hmm. Yeah. There's and I mean, there's a lot of, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of room for self doubt, right? Like that's the
Of
biggest thing
course.
I find most people get into is that they have so much self doubt.
Now that must be a derivative of fear.
Sure. Yeah.
It always kind of reduces back down to it, which is crazy. Um,
Hmm.
but it does make a lot of our choices for us, whether conscious or subconsciously.
Hmm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think a
No,
lot of
I,
people are just scared to make that leap. They're just scared to make that.
mhm,
It is a big boy leap, though. I mean, for you, this is everyday business.
mhm,
But when you very first now, I mean, I was an entrepreneur when I was like born. I feel like and remember I said I feel like, um, but the truth is I- you when you make that first initiative like big boy investment or big boy sacrifice in your life, that was a big turning point for you and a learning lesson that most people that grow up to be 30, 40, 50, 50, 60, whatever, they've never done that.
mhm.
I mean, you probably did at a young age, but most people go all their life and never do that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You also have to know how to buy a business. Do you honestly think that anyone just pulls 2 mil out of their pocket
No,
and throws it into a business?
never happens.
If at all possible, you want to use an SBA loan, right? You need 10%. my $2 million business, 200 grand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need to be be able to qualify for your, whatever it is that you're doing. You need to be able to qualify for that. You need to be able to, that's the word I'm looking for here.
Yeah, you need to be able to qualify in the first place to be able to make it happen. I mean,
You need to be able to you need to be able to have someone believe that you could do it,
mm,
and take yourself and your life seriously enough that
they
that's
believe in your mission.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And so, man, what can you do, man?
Yeah, I
What can
mean, if not everything is worthy of being invested into, you know what I mean? You got to
Mhm.
have some that actually hold some merit here, right? Uh, I'm not just going to throw 2 million into something willy-nilly. Even the guy that's a billionaire is not going to throw 2 million willy-nilly. He's just not. People that have money don't spend money like that unless there's a real way to make something back for them. It's smart.
Mhm.
It's smart. I mean, why would anybody downplay that? Why would anyone uh, villainize that aspect of business? We need that.
No, I mean that's yeah.
People
Yeah, that's
don't people don't understand how real capitalist states work. You know what I mean? Like, and yes, there are a couple of flaws in this shit, but it's the best system. End of story.
yeah, yeah, I go with that. I know that I'm probably bored most of the chat by now. I
Yeah, I
apologize.
apologize too.
This probably sucks for you, but yeah, it is what it is.
I loved it.
It's good. But I think that most people should, if I think that you really should try and better yourself. And look, your better yourself may not look the same as me bettering myself,
Totally.
right? You when if you're not well, and here's the thing, it tells me a lot about somebody if somebody is not willing to go out and find the information, right? Like people don't
Lazy.
understand about SBA loans. People don't understand about how to buy a business,
People
how
are
to
lazy.
truly buy it, right? Like I know people that have bought business, have written a really good contract and walked into you know, a couple of $1 million business with no money out of their pocket, right? Like I mean, that's a hell of a contract. But there was some faith there that this is the right guy to take over this business. I mean,
I think just people are lazy in general. I think everything in America is we pay for services. You know what I mean? We pay for
yeah,
convenience. Anything that is convenient, people will take the word of people. They don't won't do any type of investigation on their own side. Hey, let me go ahead and find out what this means. Let me go ahead and dive deep in why
yeah,
is this the best loan that I can get? You just said it. Why should I not look that up? I absolutely should. You know what I mean? But how many people do you think are actually going to start looking up in depth of loans? You know what I mean?
mhm,
But you would hope everybody.
yeah.
You would
Well,
hope
let's just.
everybody.
I mean, we could go live right now. So let's say that somebody wanted to have a full service automotive shop. There's one for sale in Tennessee.
Sure.
Strong online reputation.
Mm,
They made 1.1 million gross revenue in 2023. Um, they have some fleet connection, which they obviously need to expand on. They're showing a cash flow of about 200 grand. You
mm,
can buy that business for $713,000. That's $70,000 cash up front,
mm.
you know. if you
Wait,
qualify
so
for an SBA, which you should.
so how much are they making yearly right now?
They're cash flowing 200 grand.
Mm,
So give me one
mm.
sec. Got $5 here from Glare 1%er. People talking about if building up your fellow man is how we, yeah. People talking if, I think he means talking about building up your fellow man is how we build a better society. Absolutely.
Super Chat does that. Super Chat does that all the time when you're on the iPhone. It'll start
I was
auto
gonna say he's
correcting
talking on
you.
his phone. Yeah,
It does that. It does that autocorrect weird,
Yeah.
and then it starts typing for you and
Mhm.
shit. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Maybe you're lazy and you don't want to work hard. So here's a bread route.
Oh shoot.
With only 3 active accounts, weekly revenues $7,500
Weekly.
weekly.
Mm.
$145,000.
Oh man, I'd be all over that. I mean, I don't even know what the business is.
Wait, this can't be. Oh,
You're like, hold on, let me see the numbers.
It's an auction.
Okay, auction. That's cool.
It's an auction. Former school with adaptive reuse potential. So you could start a school. That one's
I like
bad.
Glare. He said, "Damn, I paid $5 to sound like an idiot." Hey, man, I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting Grid.
You didn't sound like an idiot.
No,
but
we
that's
knew
what
the
happens.
deal. We knew the deal.
Anytime you're on a phone, man, it's just
It gets you.
you have that chance. Yeah, some of these guys are idiots, but some of them are pretty good.
That's so funny.
So you just have to understand how to buy the biggest problem is understanding how to buy a business, and a lot of people do get a little annoyed about that.
Well, yeah, I think they've villainized capitalists
Wrong.
in almost every sense of the word. You know, like you're a villain. Oh, you want to make money? Oh, you're a villain for making money. Like, dude, that's the point of making business, make it happen. I mean, you need people like that. I just can't reiterate it enough. I just don't understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Freaking weird.
But there are all kinds of business for sale. You want to be there's a commercial cattle ranch on 564 acres in West Tennessee.
Whoa.
They raise Angus cattle and quarter horses.
Damn.
5.3 million and includes the real estate.
Oh, you're getting the
You get
whole acreage and everything.
acres. Yeah, all the buildings, all that.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's it turning a year right now?
Let's see. Let's just take a look. We'll check this out live. I mean, it's beef, so beef right now is fucking high.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be making a good coin.
Let's see. They are a member of the American Angus Association.
Good.
Cattle and equipment are at additional cost. This is just the real estate.
Oh, just the
The attached list certified by CB Genetics. Additional.
Yeah, we're talking big money.
Additional 483 acres can be leased.
Damn. They got a lot of land.
But ranch has been in business since 2010.
Almost 1,000 acres.
Yeah.
Total that they got.
They've also been doing acting as an event. They're not only working cattle and horse ranch, but provide event venues that are perfect for any event.
Yep, weddings, music nights, beer night, women's night, totally.
Yeah, 7 cabins. They have there's a hotel with 7 king suites.
Damn, they got their own hotel. All right, we're talking money. I gotta take a leak real quick. I'll be right back.
That's all good, man. Problem is they're not giving me any of their financials, and I hate when they do that. Oh, I know where that is. I know right where that is. Yellowstone, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the phone part is always a problem. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Let me check. There's all kinds of deals out there, man. All kinds. You just don't know. Ooh, there's what I like right there. Let me look at this bad boy. No, there's no way that's true. The hell is this? They got a body shop for sale. You guys know how much I like body shops. Those things they make some money.
Shit.
I like body shops. They're just a license to print money. And it's the real estate and all the equipment. It looks like maybe this guy is just run really poorly.
So he has like 1,000 acres. This
Oh
guy.
yeah. That cattle ranch was like a deal, man. Like
That's
you'd have
crazy.
you'd have to do that. So Heartbender's asking me, where do I find businesses to buy? So there's tons all over the place. I look on Biz Buy Sell. There's a ton of listings.
Just look up as well on Google businesses to
Yeah.
invest in near me or whatever,
Yeah.
you know?
I would always start with something that you kind of know, and I would. And it depends. Like if if you're looking to, so I'm at the point now where I don't want to build a business. So here's the argument again that people also tell me, and this is true. Why would I want to pay $2 million for this business? I can invest 100 grand and buy a truck, buy buy the tools, buy whatever, and I'll just go into business for myself and I'll build and I'll do it. And you know what? If you're a young man, fucking do it. You deserve it. It's your birthright. It's what you're
Right.
supposed to do.
You're here
Fucking
as
grab
an
a hold
American.
of those nuts and make
As an
it
American,
happen.
yep, make it
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Fucking do it, man. Fuck yes.
But when you have a little bit of money behind
But when
you,
you've already done that a couple of times.
right? You've done this. You've done it a
Take
couple
the
of times.
shortcut to
It's
the
like,
end.
listen, now that I've got the money and equity behind me, now I can skip that portion because I earned that right. I've done this.
Yeah.
I've
100%.
walked it. I've walked it. Right.
100%. That's a very good way of looking at it, because at the end of the day, what you're really trying to do is, it could take you 10 years of fucking suffering.
Yep. Eating ramen noodles
To get to the point where all of a sudden one day you hit that big contract. You get that certification you needed, or you finally pay off the one giant debt that you had, and all of a sudden the money comes.
See, you're right
And
about this, and some that I do want to interject on this is that
please.
I look at it as I'm willing to sacrifice a few years of my life so that I can live the rest of my life like others cannot.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Usually more than a few years, but I
But
get your
yeah, you
point.
know what you get
Yeah.
my gist,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I talk about when when I talk about the way I came up is, yeah, dude, it was rough. When I I set out early in life, I was going to have a shop.
Mm. You knew what you were going to do.
Yeah, it was going to happen. And so but I needed to learn things. And so I would work for people for almost nothing, man.
Mm-hmm. Because
and I lived,
you knew though that that's what you needed to do to get to the next platform and use that as a stepping stone. Which, I mean, I started in the maritime industry when I was 18, right? Legal age. And the very first year was me working basically for nothing.
Mhm.
But that was a total sacrifice because I knew what I was going to do. I was going to be a tug captain. I knew I
Yeah.
was going to get up there, and but I knew where I needed to start if I
Mhm.
wasn't going to go straight into college and go to Cal Maritime and all of this stuff, right? So
Mhm.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to go through the hose pipe, we call it,
Mhm.
and that's exactly what I did. I worked for like $100 a day for like we were working 18, 17-hour shifts, 18,
Mhm.
nights and days. It was
Mhm.
crazy. We barely slept. But that's what got me to that next step and also made me appreciate all of the jobs behind me as well. Like when you actually go through the business and yourself, then you start going, wow, I appreciate these positions as you go through and you understand each and every job. So as a captain, anything goes wrong and my engineer doesn't know what the hell happened, I was an engineer for 3 years. I got it. I'll go down there and
Yeah.
handle it myself.
Yeah, there's something about that. Just really quick, it's not skipping because they can't. At least not my camera. My camera doesn't skip, but it is. I think it's just YouTube, man,
It could be.
because the playback here is perfect. Mikey, you've been skipping a little bit, but not too bad.
Yeah,
So
happens.
you know, um, so it's it's interesting. So I'm gonna so like, and I tell people this all the time about me. Like I knew what I wanted to do and I would work for people for like ridiculously low money. I was in California, Morgan Hill, California.
Mm,
I worked for a race shop out there and I lived in the office that I worked in. Because I was technically the team manager, but I did everything because it was me and a helper, right? So what a
right. It's
manager I
only you
was.
two. Yeah.
Yeah, what a manager I was.
No, but you
Manager and
handle
title only.
but meanwhile, you're doing 5 jobs, he's doing
Yeah.
1 job.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Right.
And
Remember that. Yeah.
but dude, I made a lot of money because they didn't go anywhere, and I didn't really spend any money on anything. So the it's just it was just terrible, honestly, for my if you wanted to like date somebody or if you wanted to have any kind of normal life, even going out to the movies was like why bother,
Mhm.
and I did that, and then I went to work. So I did that after I had worked at the Porsche shop where I did basically the same thing. I lived when I went to work for the Porsche shop in North Carolina. I lived in a they had a storage closet that had a shower in it because all true race shops have showers in them because you can work 24 hours, right? Easy. And so
Happens
yeah, yeah. So all
a
true race
lot.
shops have showers. So
I did not know that, by the way.
yeah.
That's
Uh,
cool.
if I walk in and there's not if I'm looking at a race shop and there's no shower involved, I
You're
know you're
like,
not
they're not serious.
amateurs,
Yeah, they're not.
fucking
Yeah, totally
amateurs,
not serious. Yeah,
not composers,
yeah,
and
totally.
so
Wannabes. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah. And so I would, I had so I lived in the shop for the first 3 months I was in North Carolina
Mm,
because I
damn.
didn't have I never had any I didn't even have enough time to go find an apartment because I was at the shop all day until late in the night.
Mm.
Like it was, and I'm not kidding even the least little bit about that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
one of,
It's 24/7, literally.
yeah.
Yeah,
But the
could
thing
be at
was is I was
3 in the morning.
yeah
Boom. You're
right, and
still
the thing
going at
was
it.
is I stacked cash when I
Yep.
had time off. If they said, hey, because a lot of times we would come back from the track, right? And we'd come back Sunday night, and they'd say, "Hey, we're not working tomorrow, and we won't work Tuesday. We don't want to see anybody in the shop until Wednesday,
Hmm.
right?" And I I would go home. I would actually leave North Carolina and go back to Tennessee and hang out with my buddy Dimitri for a night or two
Damn.
because
How long is that drive?
it's like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
It wasn't bad, and and I always drove it like night. It was fine. It's super easy, and I didn't know anybody in North Carolina to go hang out with, and I didn't have time to just hang out with people. So I would actually drive back to Tennessee, hang out for a day or two, and then go back to North Carolina. And I did that for a year or 2 years, something like that. But
Yeah,
I
man.
just but like honestly, the first 3 months I lived in
That's sacrifice.
in that shop. And
But
then the
you were
same
willing
thing.
to do that.
Well, I think that's a problem with society is we have
That's what I'm
people aren't
saying.
willing to do it, right?
Yep.
If somebody was so if, right now, can you picture a young man, 23 years old,
Sure.
goes to his parents and say, "Yeah, I'm going to take this job in North Carolina, and yeah, I mean they're paying me really well, but I haven't even had time to look for an apartment. I'm just living in the shop. They got a shower.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch TV anyway,
Doesn't
and
matter.
I'm always working, right? Like I'm always working anyway, so whatever." Imagine somebody's parents now, they'd be like, they're taking advantage of you. They're using you. They're
You're right. We're
all of the things,
babying
right?
our society.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was 1,000 miles south of Hawaii. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Out in a tugboat, tandem towing 2 barges with a crane on it.
mhm,
You know what I mean? Like at 20.
mhm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, listen, man, like my parents were like, "No, man, money's there. Go get it. Go
yeah.
get it, man. Like, do your passion,
Today
man."
today parents will be like, "No,
I know that's
that's
way too hardcore. You're
crazy."
gonna die out there, or
Right, yeah. Why are
totally.
you working so hard for so little money?
Yeah, exactly,
Do they pay you for all those hours?
totally. Are you
You
getting
know?
paid and accounted for every hour? Are you getting your
Right.
lunch hour?
Yeah, that's how it would roll today. But I did all of that, and then
That's funny.
eventually ended up, I ended up at 3R, and then from 3R I went to my own shop, and then I never worked for anybody else ever again. So you know, but
It's a way to do it.
and I actually started again. I know I can speak to this because I did it. I I literally started my business. I shit you not. I sold a car that wasn't a very expensive car, and I had some money set aside, and I signed a lease on a building, and I
Mm.
bought a pair of welders with that money, and that's how I started my actual own
So
business. I
you
had all
sold
the
your
hand tools and
car.
stuff.
You
I
sold your
had
car
all
for tools and equipment.
yeah yeah. I had this car, and I was like, um, I I have another car. My wife and I had another car, and I'm like, well,
We can sacrifice this. We
we'll
can use
sell this one,
this.
and then and so we took part of the money from the sale of that car, and one of the things I really needed for my shop to be effective was welders, and I literally drove across the state of Colorado to get those two welders. I'm not
Wow.
even kidding you, and because there was such a good deal,
Right.
but those two, and I still own both of them for over 20 years.
Damn good machines then. Damn good machines.
Well used,
They treated you well, you know what I mean?
well used
Yeah,
machines. Um, then and so I can't tell you how much money those machines have made me.
right. From that
And
investment.
but I started out there, and I went from having 5 or 6 customers a week and barely eking by to $50,000 in sales a month. Um, you know, we did um, we would do 250 $300,000 a quarter. We got to where we were rolling pretty good, but
Mhm.
it all started with me taking my because I had the opportunity to either go to work for somebody else again or just sack up And
either
and
way,
just
you're still putting in that same labor.
putting in the same money.
So why not
Exactly.
just,
Yeah.
skip
Yeah.
that BS?
hmm
Yep.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. And so, and by that time I had enough experience, I had enough knowledge, I knew what I was doing, and it was really solid. It's
Mhm.
like, dude, there were some nights though, man. Like my wife and I would argue about money sometimes because it was so tight, and the it would just get. I mean, that first couple of years, dude,
Mega struggle.
it was rough.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying even after that, it was still rough. It was just rough with padding.
totally.
You
The
know what?
first 2 years are like straight panic the entire time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like
yeah,
you never sleep, you know?
yeah, yeah. And so it's it's just a real, it's a really I I I just think, man, that most people, and I think women should do the same thing. I think most women should have a home business.
Mm, I
Matter of fact,
agree.
I almost believe that if you're a woman, if you're a modern woman and you do not work an actual job, you must have a home-based business.
No kidding. Yep.
Yeah. What else are you
I
gonna do with your time?
That's always been a thing for me. If you're gonna be in the household,
Yeah.
that's always been a thing. Like
Yeah.
my ex had she did glass staining and
Mhm.
glass and she sold her stuff and like on
Mhm.
Etsy and all that. She
Yeah.
had her total business.
Yeah.
Um, but that's the way that you do it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I look at it that way. But
I mean, like my mom did accounting on the side. My
what
grandmother
else
did.
are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're sitting in the house doing what? You
Right. Yeah.
know? Make something happen.
Why would you not do that? I just don't understand this. Like, well, and now look, I think that most went. If we're honest about it, we are, two person, how two person income households, right?
Normally,
If
yes.
we're honest about it,
Objectively, you have to look at the
right?
big picture of people. Yeah.
But at what point does it become cheaper for the woman to be at home working?
Right. Mhm. When does that happen? That's a good
It
question.
actually happens earlier than most people think, because if you look at what jobs at most, when you say you have two-person incomes, right? We're not talking about
2
your
doctors.
yeah, right, yeah,
Yeah,
most people.
we're
I do
talking
know
like a
I actually do
server.
know a guy. I know
Right,
a
right,
guy.
right, but we're usually talking about, a secretary and,
Yeah, yeah,
you
we're
know,
talking about somebody that makes like
and a
just
dermatologist or
above
whatever,
minimum
you know?
wage, or they're making 20 bucks an hour or something like that.
Or a
And they
server or
could
whatever.
literally have a home-based business doing, like, like we talked about, accounting, or selling shit on Etsy or
Anything.
eBay, or
Facebook Marketplace, whatever you have
there
to
used
do.
to there used to be a lot of demand for babysitting, right?
Yep, there was a
Childcare.
huge influx
Yeah,
on that.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Um, there's just a lot that I
To be
think that
made.
money can be money. There's a reason that home-based businesses exist, and I think that if you want to be really intellectually honest with yourself, there should always be a home-based business.
Mhm.
If you are a stay-at-home, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom, or even a stay-at-home dad. I know that those are out there
Those
now.
are around now. Yeah,
Right, right. I'm technically one, but I'm more retired.
I got you.
Um, but you could do call center work, like Mr. Boulay just said. You could do medical recording. Medical recording's huge, dude. Like data entry, it's
Yep.
huge.
Humongous.
And so, yeah, okay, it's not the most glamorous job, and you don't get to go and hang out with all of the other women's and all of that. But why does that matter? You're if your goal is to make that extra 250 to $300 a week, and you can make that extra 2 or $300 a week, not leaving your home, not using gas, not using fuel,
Because I'll tell you what,
being there when the kids get home. If you can do that, why wouldn't you do that?
because women don't get attention that way.
Well, nobody tells them to do it.
Well, that too. I will agree with that. Yep.
Right?
I will agree.
No, absolutely not. The feminist, this is where the feminists are in.
Ideology. Yes.
They're in full effect, man, because they will literally tell you that you need to be out there, you need to be out there, baby. You need to be
You're
a
an independent
star.
woman. Yeah,
You are
yeah. Yeah, that whole bit. Yeah, straight up.
My head doesn't do that very well.
Yeah, mine either.
But
I went through a couple of accidents. I don't move that way.
I don't have a lisp.
Yeah, me
So
neither.
it doesn't. I can't.
I may have a slur, you know what I mean, but no lisp.
Yeah, that's funny. You and Jake from VO Pod streaming together be just, you guys could match each other beer for beer.
Totally. I'm down. I'm down for that. I'm down. I'll take the challenge any day.
Any day.
I'm a professional. Anyways.
I'm a professional alcoholic, sir.
Yeah, that's right. Don't fuck around.
I used to make that joke about my roommates in college. I was like, they were really professional alcoholics.
Yeah, they're real, We don't drink like Fireball out here. Like if you're drinking Fireball, I'm glad you're not an alcoholic. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean at all.
Oh, you got offended a little bit there.
I don't drink.
No,
I don't drink at all.
No, you gotta have decent booze, If you're drinking Fireball, man, you're either you're an alcoholic that doesn't have any money, or or you're just not an alcoholic, which is great.
I've never drank.
That's fantastic. You know what's crazy is I've only done booze and left-handed tobacco my entire life. Never tried anything else. Never put anything up my nose to this very day. And which I'm proud to be able to say. And then all the Dilaudid that I was on in the hospital when I lost my leg and all that, after 13, 14 days or whatever, I told them I'm unwilling to take their medication anymore. They were already underserving me and they weren't going to give me any more. So I was like, you know what? At this point, I don't want to get hooked. I know what this has done to like family members. I've seen where it's gone down. I'm just going to go ahead and bail here. And they made me sign a waiver and everything. Sure did. And quit cold turkey right then and there.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
I never started, so I never had to quit.
Right.
So,
That's good. Yeah. That's extreme rarity in today's society. And you know that.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That was, is Flow State live right now?
Let me look.
What Poonhound? What is he doing?
Cult.
Yes.
Oh, he's reviewing Glenn's stream with the OTW dude.
Oh, that I can't stand that OTW guy.
What's that guy? What does OTW stand for?
Out of this world.
Out of this world. The guy who doesn't believe in space.
Correct. Says out of this world.
Says out of this world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's so delusional that people were like, "Are you a flat earther?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you on some crystal time. Yeah. I like that TR, by the way. Fireball is gut rot that happens to taste good. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, gut rot's terrible.
I've never smoked. I've never drank. I've never tried any drugs.
That's really good. I didn't even start smoking until I lost my leg.
I've never gambled.
Really? Oh my God. That was my when I was young, that was my thing. Like I've walked out with 27 racks and I've also walked out 19 racks of my own money lost. You know what I mean? And you walk out, shake everybody's hand or whatever, because I like playing cards. And shake everyone's hand, go right out to the parking lot and puke your guts out. because you just lost like 20 grand. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for me, I don't make money like that. So when that happened to me when I
Never
was a
done
kid,
that.
I did that one time and I super learned my lesson. That was
Mm.
one time. It only took me one time. And I said, you know what? I'm willing to lose when I'm willing to lose X amount. And that's what I stick to now. But that needed to happen in my life to teach me something.
Yeah, man, I got to be honest, dude. I've never had that moment, right?
Right.
Right.
It's
Like I've,
pure adrenaline, dude. That's the point. You
yeah,
know, and people go for that fix, especially with money. You know, money is flirtatious. It looks good, it sounds good. Everything about gambling money is good in the sense of like total giving into our own wants and needs or whatever. And yeah, man. Yeah, I've done it all in that aspect, you know, where I've
uh,
lost a lot, won a lot. And I mean, shoot, I was even in poker tournaments, all that stuff. Next year I plan on actually doing the WSOP tournament. You know, I'm actually going to
mhm,
send the World Series of Poker. Yeah,
yeah.
so
I had a buddy of mine who got into poker as a career kind of deal.
yeah, I
And
almost did that, and I'm thank God I did not.
yeah, he's one of those that he got out really, I think, because his dad helped him out, and he, got him and actually bought him a business and
Oh,
did all of that.
wow, that's
Yeah,
humongous. He
yeah,
he said,
and
"Nope, this lifestyle you're not doing no more.
kind of like that, man. Kind of
I'm
like
going to
that.
save you right now." Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank God that I figured it out somewhat early, you know.
yeah.
I was like, "You
Yeah,
know what?
it was
That's
an
for the
interesting
birds, man."
deal. It was an interesting deal. But so I feel like I'm good to be able to talk both sides of this coin, right?
Mm,
Like I can talk, young guy, yeah, absolutely, man. Go out there, get some money up, work your balls off. I have a buddy of mine who he was always looking for his big business,
breakthrough.
his big hit, right?
Yeah, the big
And so,
breakthrough.
and he tried a couple of different kind of small businesses, and he ended up um, going to work for this company selling um epoxy floor materials,
Mhm.
right? Like they do all kinds of concrete coating material stuff, and God only knows what else they do. But and he went to work there as kind of a salesman, kind of a rep, and he ended up doing some investing in the company to where I think he's now either he owns it or he is part owner of the company.
Mhm.
And they hit it big. Like it went from being like,
Gold
you
mine.
know, being okay to being like off the fucking charts.
So he
And
he did get the big breakthrough.
he did, yeah, but he put in the time, right? Like he
Yeah.
put in years and years and years
Seat time, man. It's
of
all
just
about the amount of
basically
time and
making it. He was okay, but not great. So yeah, fortunately, man, he, you know, and to be honest, I respect what he did. We actually call him Money Right.
I like that.
That's his name is Money Right because he had
Mhm.
to have he always had to have his money right.
Yeah,
Like
that's
he
right.
wouldn't do this deal. He would not
Listen,
buy the.
if
He
I'm
just
50 bucks off on this shit, no,
yeah, yeah, no.
money's gotta be right.
Money's got to be right.
Mhm. We're doing a deal, right? Money's gotta be right.
Right? Yeah. No, that's it.
Absolutely. Damn straight.
Yeah. And it was pretty terrible overall, but he suffered through it, man. And again, I think he actually bought into the company and actually became part of the company.
That's big.
And I think he owns it. I don't know that for certain because I haven't really wanted to like pry and
Right,
ask
right.
like, hey man, you
What's
own
the
this
deal?
place?
Yeah, yeah. What's the deal? Yeah. Give me the scoop.
You the big cheese baby.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But he yeah, he, like I said, he was a good dude. He did a bang up job. Um, but and I just think that I really feel like that you need to do that in life, right? Like whether
Feel
it's
that.
business, whether it's
It really makes you appreciate things too in a different perspective. You know what I
yeah,
mean? When you go through a struggle like that and you come out on the other side, or even if you fail, I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, not if you fail, you're going to fail, especially
mhm,
in business. That's just, you're not going to strike gold the very first time you dip your toes in. It's not
mhm,
going to happen. Um, and that would be an unrealistic expectation as well.
mhm.
But yeah, it's, I just find the ideologies just very interesting. How people go, well, I just don't want to get involved. I don't want to risk myself. I don't want to have to go through the struggle. I don't want to have to deal with
Yeah.
that. And that's where I say, like, well, I find it really interesting that you find comfort, and this is, just as my mind speaking, you find comfort on making a salary for somebody else, which is fine to do for, I mean, in my worldview, use that to be able to now bank up or do whatever, get the skills required for that job,
Yeah.
and then
And
move up and make your own some sort of business or plan or whatever the case is. And now that you can take that to the next level, I thought that's the point.
I think it's the point. I think that it's very important to understand always that when it comes down to it, that you are the guy,
Right.
right? Like that nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to make you more than you are right now. Nobody's going to tell you, "Hey,
It's up to you.
you should invest in this." You know, um, I mean, they might say it,
But for
but
the most part, yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But for the first part, and I'm not saying that everybody can, but everybody should try to own their own business, or at least eliminate the possibility. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like at least eliminate the
In your own life.
right. So like when you were in the olden days,
Mhm.
there's a if you were a cowboy, you wanted to become a rancher, you wanted to own the rancher, or you wanted to own a ranch, and you worked for somebody else to get your money up so you could go out on your own, and you would start with a small place and build it up, put
Totally.
your time and effort into it, right? And if you're, the same thing happened with whatever career that you were in or wanted to be in, and it's the same thing now. The difference is now society checks you. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to say, "Hey, you know what?
They put a shame on it,
Yeah,
oddly enough, and they say that shame is bad.
yeah,
Ironically, they shame that.
right." Well, that or they put the fear in you. Well,
Totally. You
what
know
if you
what
can't,
could
what if you're
happen though?
stuck at this? What if nobody
Mhm.
wants it? What if you don't have any customers? What if?
Totally.
And the whataboutisms, and that's why my favorite saying in the entire world is fear is the spare change that will keep you broke.
I
If
like
you
that.
if you carry around that fear in your pocket, like you do spare change, and you take it out and look at it every single time
Mm.
that there's a risk.
Sure.
Do I buy into this stock? Do I buy into this commodity, whether it's crypto or whatever? Do I buy into this? Do I buy into that? If every time the answer is no, then don't be surprised when other people make millions of dollars doing it and you don't.
Yep. That's facts. And Chrono Rick is right. And Chrono Nick, I'm sorry. And FOMO both are fear of missed opportunity. Both
Yeah.
are fear. Yep.
Mhm.
And it's weird how that works on both sides of the equation.
Yeah. Well, so, but yeah, but both of those you carry around like spare change,
Totally. You do.
you know, and sometimes you just,
Subconsciously.
you just need to take that spare change out and leave it on the dresser at home.
Yep, no kidding. That's a good analogy. I like that.
Just don't carry it with you.
Yep.
Because you can't. I'm telling you, man, it will suck the life out of you, man. People that have said, I know a dude right now, and he had the opportunity a few years ago to move across country and be more than he is today. And he would have done a great job. The people he was going to work for were great. And even if he had only lasted a year or two, it would have led to something better. Instead, every time I talk to this guy, he's blown his life up.
Mm.
Like right now, like he had a great job as a service writer in a dealership that I contributed to him getting, but it was a lot of
Guys
work.
ruin it.
It was a lot of hours, a lot of work, whatever. And he's like, and he just wanted to go do something else.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't talked to him in like months, man. And he called me up and I'm like, well, actually, I guess he messaged me. He didn't even call me. He messaged me up and said, "Hey, man, have not been ignoring you. I've just been busy with other stuff." And of course, I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, dude. It's all good. No biggie."
Sure.
And he's like, he says, "Well, I've been doing this and doing that and doing this," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, he's where he was in a position to get his money up, get his money right, get everything sorted out. He left that job. Now he's a salesman at mattress firm." Right?
No way.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
People
then
they do that to themselves, I swear.
he did it to himself. That's like an intermediate job.
Yes.
That's like a job.
That's a
like
get by, get through.
That's a job you have out of college while you're waiting on the big boys to call you up and give you that big job, right?
That
Give you
big
your
corporate
adult
job. Yeah.
You work at mattress firm because you can quit there and nobody gives a shit.
Right. No
But
kidding. Flip over rate is tomorrow. We got the new guy,
yeah. And I just I don't know what to do to help the guy. I don't know I don't know
You
how
can't
to
help a mentality.
I actually told him, dude. I actually told him, like, "Hey, man, you know what? One thing that you're really good at is you're really good at finding these deals on these cars because he's really tied into a
Like,
couple
make a
different communities."
business out of that.
I'm like, "I will front the money if you find the right deals where we can sell it and make a few bucks, and we'll
Mm,
just split the money."
no way. He should
Oh
have
yeah,
take you up on that right away.
yeah, yeah.
Good.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, that's something I'd be like, yep.
yeah,
I mean, if I was in that business and I did that, someone
right,
offered that to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's really good at that. It's the same thing that I'd say to somebody else if they were really good at something, and I could be like, you know, yeah, let's make some let's make some shit happen.
Totally.
But um, he didn't take me up on it. He never has. He will send me
What?
cars. Occasionally, he'll send me cars. And he's like, "Oh, this would be a good
Listings.
deal," but then it's not like. But it's never a great deal. It's never like what I want is I want
Good
like
flips,
I
obvious.
want good home runs. They don't have
Mhm.
to all be home runs, but they need to be home runs. And he's just too scared.
Mm.
I'll be honest with you. I really think he's just too scared.
Timid. People
Yeah,
are
something like
timid. Hmm.
Yeah, something like that. I
They,
think he's
yeah. That's where people that step righteously come into play,
well, I think that when people, one of the things I think that honestly, I think that it's so rare for people um to have people help them that if somebody actually said that and said, "Hey, I will I will help you out. You know what, Mikey, you know a lot about I don't know, fucking cigars or whatever.
Sure.
If you run across where we can make some money on doing something and it's legal and legit and everything,
Totally.
and you don't have because a lot of people run across deals and they just don't have the cash to do it. I'll front you some cash, as long as you can, as long as it's like a sure thing and we're gonna kill it.
Yep.
Yeah, why would I not put money into that?
Of course.
And you'd be surprised at how few people take me up on it.
That's insane. If you came to me and said, "Yo, I believe in your vision on whatever I was doing.
Mm.
Yeah, let me go ahead and make you a 5-year business plan right now.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, let's get serious. Yeah, for real. But people, I don't know. They step timidly. It's weird.
Yeah, it is. It is a little odd.
It's odd.
I don't know, man. And I've seen this a lot. I see this a lot now. I actually hadn't really thought about it that much, but I feel like that most people, if they sit back and look at it, um, they will not, they would, if they're really honest with themselves, something like that's happened to them where somebody was willing to help them.
An opportunity, and they took
That
it down.
opportunity came and went because
Yep.
they weren't ready for it, or they were too scared, or they just whatever the reason was.
Totally.
And so, and I'm in my own life that's happened. I've had people that were going to help me out huge, and I was either not in a position to take it, and I couldn't say that out loud for whatever, or more usually I just fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Happens.
yeah, so that's that. What guys, we're getting into the last little few minutes of the show here. Is there anything in the chat? Mr. Boulay, what idea for a business do you have?
Yeah, I want to hear that. Especially from Boulay, Alabama's finest, by the way.
Well, something like that.
Something like that.
What idea do you got, Mr. Boulay? You don't have to be specific either. You can just, I don't want to put anybody on the spot more than normal.
Shit. Come on, Mr. Boulay. Come up on panel.
For like the last 15 or 20 minutes?
Yeah. Tell us about your idea.
Dude, I was all in on there was actually a business where a guy was like, he was going to buy CNC lathes, and he had the business plan all written out with material feeders, and he was going to make turned copper bullets. And there's like
That's
a huge
cool.
market. It's huge markup on them and everything. It was like going to be ridiculous. $5 comes in from Speaker for the Dead. People want to talk about their ideas and not execute the follow through. It's basically locker room talk. Yeah, sure. People say, yeah, I'd bang that. But if she took her shirt off in front of you, you'd run.
Yep.
Be honest about it.
Yep. Campfire shit.
I mean, you'd have to these days because let's just be honest, you're going to jail.
Yeah, no kidding. Kidding.
She's gonna say something like, oh yeah, what's the thing they always claim now? What is it? It's
emotional damage.
That's it. and or SA.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding.
They're gonna claim SA for sure, 100%. So yeah, which is emotional damage in and of itself.
Yeah, right. Reduce it down.
Yeah. We want to be honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want to be honest. So better hurry, Mr. Boulay. The clock's ticking down.
We're waiting on you. He said, give me a sec. All right. Well, we gave you a sec.
Like the new camera. It's not a new camera angle. It's the same camera angle.
You just change your background all the time.
I haven't actually changed it at all. It's just, I just swivel in the chair.
It's illusion.
I move a lot when I do that. I'm actually about to change the background again. I just haven't decided what yet. Usually get ideas for how to improve others' ideas or already existing products, how to improve in one way or the other. I don't know how to talk about it without having it stolen. Well, don't do that. And you always make sure that the thing that you think, the thing you think you should really know, because I cannot tell you how many people have come to me with an idea like, oh, it's revolutionary. It's going to change the world. And I'm like, yeah, they invented that like 10 years ago.
Right.
So,
You're 10 years behind this shit. Yeah.
it is a great idea, and somebody else had it. Like,
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
so
Happens a lot. That's funny.
yeah. But yeah, I
So,
don't want
what do you think about the ongoings, real quick? Not to get too deep. You can tell me F
to.
off.
Yeah.
But what do you think about what's happening in Syria?
I've been following it a lot, to be
Okay.
honest. I
Yeah,
wanted to.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty wild right now. Landscape is just insane. You know, Assad, I mean, fled completely to Russia and Moscow. And and they just dinged him again this morning.
Yeah, I have not been following that particularly.
Middle East is hour by hour. I know.
Yeah, I haven't been
Hour by
following it.
hour.
I was watching your show, and I kind of came in the middle, so I'm not. I will
Well,
freely
I
admit.
broke that news Sunday. You know what I mean? So
Well, weren't you on before this talking about Assad?
I was.
Yeah.
So I broke the news Sunday because Sunday is my one day off, and
Hmm.
the last few Sundays I've had to break news, and the last Sunday was regarding Syria, and yeah, man, it's been the landscape is totally wild out there right now in the Middle East, and Israel's just kicking ass right now. Just saying, they've got
Well,
everybody
there was
weak as
never a doubt.
everybody is weak as fuck right now, except for Israel. It's pretty funny to watch. You know what I mean? Hezbollah is, they're gone pretty much. Same thing with Hamas. I mean, they're totally defeated, nothing left. And then Assad completely fled. Like these people are going straight back into their underground bunker. They're gonna rebuild, do what they normally do, right? Grid. They're like cockroaches.
Yeah.
They just come back. No matter what, they're always gonna
Yeah.
come back. And so they're going underground right now, and it's pretty funny to watch the landscape change moment by moment. Just
Okay.
fascinating.
Yes. Yes.
And then
indeed.
Russia, Ukraine, the whole thing with that. I don't know if you heard, but Putin gave a heads up to the United States today that in the next few days, they are going to use a missile against Ukraine. They will be. They said this is happening.
Did they say what kind of missile?
No.
So probably a cruise missile
Right.
of some
We're
kind.
hoping not for like some ICBM with a warhead or something like that, We didn't hear any of that
Well,
talk.
they got to get it done soon because Daddy's about to clock in. So.
Exactly. Well, that's why
Daddy's car's in the driveway, so you got to get.
They're saying if it's going to happen, it's going to be within the next, couple of months. If not the next, let's just say Trump comes in, then it takes a minute to clean things up for a second. It could extend to 6 months. If anything is going to happen, it's going to happen in a 6-month span. And if not, then we just save the world, type of thing. So, yeah, crazy to watch.
Yeah, I mean it's like I said, they hear Daddy's cars. They heard the tires hit the gravel.
Totally, and they change their attitude.
Yeah,
they go all of a sudden. Oh wait. We'll go ahead and drop the Hezbollah dropped the whole ordeal that they held for 14 months straight. That they had to have a ceasefire. If they were going to have a ceasefire, that Hamas needed to have a ceasefire as well. They dropped that condition over 14 months when Trump came in office. And that's why the ceasefire is in agreement right now, because there's no ceasefire with Hamas. Crazy.
Yeah. Mr. Boulay, we may have to wait till the next show, my friend. We're closing in on it here.
Cutting it thin.
So.
Yep. Well, I just wanted your little 2 cents on that because I always appreciate it.
I think that again, it's hard to it's just hard to deal with, man. It's just really,
Well, we're not just dealing with the Middle East anymore. We're dealing with the,
yeah.
Europe. We're dealing with a whole bunch of conflicts. It's like, dude, like, no matter what we do, there's an issue. So I look at this as almost, and I hate to give this guy any credit, but Putin, he looks at it as a nationalist. I'm the same way. I'm America first. Fuck everyone else. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, but not. I'm not. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
he's trying to get his mic to work, dude. It's just technical issues all day today.
yeah, happens.
We can talk about it again later, Mr. Boulay. That's
Yeah,
fine.
we'll circle right back to it. We're good
Yeah.
about that stuff.
I'll be on tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon is probably a better time. To
Yeah,
talk.
when do you come back on? Tomorrow afternoon? What time?
Yeah, noon.
Okay.
Noon.
All right. Hopefully.
Do you do your morning show, and right as you're finishing your morning shows when I'm usually coming
And
on?
usually I wait to see if you're live so that I can raid you at the
I
end
only do
because
Monday and Thursday right now. I should start doing more, but we'll see.
right
Tomorrow I have a meeting, so I'm probably going to cut my daytime show short. I think I have a meeting that starts. I forget when it starts early.
like
but
2:00, something like that. 1:30.
I think it's at 2, which means I need to drop off at like 1:30. So
Right.
it'll be a short show tomorrow for the daytime show.
Well, I'll be around. Yeah, sometimes my show goes only an hour. Sometimes it goes an hour and a half. Sometimes it goes 2.5 hours. Just depends on what is happening, the landscape. And usually my longer shows, the 2-hour shows, are the ones I'm able to raid you. But the shorter ones, you're not live yet.
Yeah. Who's Robert? Robert's been talking shit again.
So when I go on other panels, don't tell anybody, right? So chat, don't say nothing. When I go on other panels, I don't go up as me. I go up as Robert.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's my little alias. Don't say
Robin
nothing.
Balls?
Yeah.
I don't see you, Mr. Boulay.
Stop the cap.
Sure.
I don't see you, Mr. Boulay. You may have to go here. Let me send you a fresh link.
Fresh. A freshie.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one that Mr. Boulay sent me did not work.
Yeah, it may have. Let me where did I go? Here we go.
Yeah, I see you speaker
I'm
from the
functioning
dead.
at like half speed right now. I'm tired.
I feel that. The last couple of days caught up with me and I got decent rest. And sometimes that's weird. Like I'll go 3-4 hours a night and be fine. And then I get a good 7 hours sleep. All of a sudden I'm tired. It's like my body caught up to me. So, but I feel that. That's right, Carney. I see you, by the way.
It's interesting. It seems like some of your viewers have started coming over and hanging out here.
They love you, dude.
Yeah, it's cool.
Those guys love you. They talk about you all the time in the chat.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a good ass time.
Yeah.
I think you understand a decent amount of my worldview. You know what I mean? And the type of people that would follow that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing because really so my brother rides Harleys and I give him shit for it all the time.
Oh shit. Here we go.
And yeah, I give him, I just beat on him about it, like I'm always, every time he's like, hey man, I'm gonna go ride tonight. And I'm like, should I follow you with the trailer or?
Damn. All right. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. Listen, when you're in a club,
I'll send him a picture of a bottle of oil,
yes, I've seen it all. The tin can of oil. I've seen it all. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mr. Boulay, in by the hair of your chinny chin chin.
Yep. What's up?
What's up, guys?
We do hear you. What's up, man?
I thought I shut that speaker off.
You
guys hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, well, I'm trying to shut that speaker off so you don't get any feedback.
We don't hear anything right now, so it's all good.
Yeah. No, you're good.
You're good.
Okay. Oh,
Bring
I don't
it.
need these then.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh. Well, No, no. Well, I don't know how the folks in the chat are, but I definitely enjoyed the conversation tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't
So,
the show I intended to do, but it was a show that was going to happen. So,
well, I've never had a business, never started one. I've always been, corporate engineer type. I have connections to a distributor of gold and silver bullion from the U.S. Mint. So I can get them. I can get a monster box of silver eagles, and probably start off with the smallest size in the gold eagle coins, and I can get them for a lot cheaper than what you would do if you bought it retail.
right.
What the distributor what he was trying to do is trying to find somebody out in the precious metal coin community on YouTube to sell straight bullion, nothing else, no collectible stuff, no anything else, just rack and stack. He'll drop ship you a monster box and you just turn it over, because that's what he needs. He needs, he's looking for people to like just take these monster boxes and just sell them. And he could send you another one, you just keep turning it over, because for him, I guess the profitability is was it high turnover, I guess?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just volume, try and deal in volume.
Yeah. So I think there's an opportunity for that with the YouTube community, and it's really huge on brain fart, Instagram. There's tons of people out there trying to buy and sell gold and silver coins and stuff like that out there.
Nonstop.
Yeah. So it's huge on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how big community is on X or Twitter or whatever, but YouTube, definitely. There's a lot of other channel, precious metal folks. They have auctions, and they have weekly sale, do a live stream and they sell stuff to folks. But what sparked my interest was the fact that, if you could buy literally more or less direct from somebody who gets it right from the U.S. Mint. So that keeps the costs down, so to speak. And then in turn, the idea is that you you pass on that savings to other folks.
Every hand that touches
the consumer. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So that takes one or two persons out of the loop. So
yes, if you're saving quite a bit of profit actually for yourself in that moment.
Yeah. And there's people out there, in this community, and then over, where I normally play in the precious metal community, the demand's there. It's just, it's like what you guys were talking about. Okay, why am I scared on taking that next step?
Totally. Happens a lot.
It's not in Alabama. It's pretty easy to set up an LLC. So setting up the business isn't an issue. It's, do I really want to send that much money to him and get that first monster box?
Yes.
Right. But I mean, this is stuff that if you're, even if you just sell it at cost, you're doing okay, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're not taking a loss, right?
No.
I mean, and by cost, I mean at what normal people would pay. Like, so let's say you buy it for, I'm just making numbers up. So let's say you buy a box at $300, and normally that box should go for like
$700.
Well, I don't think there's that much.
But you know what I mean.
Let's just say you buy it for $300, it should go for like $400, or maybe 25%. Maybe it gets that much back. So, that's worth doing, right? Because maybe the normal price is $450 or $500, right? And so even if you're able to sell it at or near market, then you're still cheaper than other people,
right?
Well, as long as they can be verified, and because precious metal people are weird. They drill into bars and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, that's the opportunities there. I have a connection with the distributor and everything. In fact, he's the guy I go to when I'm trying to buy and sell stuff. So,
so what? I mean, what are the percentages on it? Would be the first question.
Like a margin of profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, with silver, it's very tight. That's part of the problem. And with spot prices gone up, in the last couple of years, it's the calculations that well, I don't want to get into that part. The guy I was supposed to that we were thinking of doing this, him and I've kind of part ways, and so it's
no
like I'm
special
kind of
deal there.
yeah, if I ever took off with this, he might come back. Hey, that was our idea, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well, you and I aren't talking anymore, so it's like, what am I supposed to do? What's the right thing to do? Call him up. Hey, you want to be a silent partner? I mean, so that's I guess that's a separate issue. But I've been toying with the idea for so long. It's just like, okay, why am I not taking that next step? At the very least,
I think your margins
ought
are
to
too tight, and I think you know it. I think the problem is if it was a great deal, there would be people lined up around the block to be the middleman.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So
I think
right
that's
now
why
they're
you're
scraping
probably
for pennies.
That's probably why you're not. I think innately you know that. You want to do it because it's cool.
You love what you do.
Yeah.
There's passion behind it. Yeah, there's passion
Yeah.
with that.
I mean, having that big box of gold or silver, just be like, oh, this is cool.
Well, gold has definitely the higher percentage. It's silver that's so tight,
Right.
Yeah.
because
You have
it's
to
so
walk before you
volatile.
can run, and the chance of silver retracing below what you paid for it before you sold it all is that there's how long are you going to have to hold this silver to be in a spot where you can sell? So this is why I don't trade precious metals, to be honest with you, because the margins are really tight and it's impossible to predict when it's going to retrace back, and you could lose $1,000
In a
almost
moment.
overnight. In a
Yeah.
month for sure, but almost
Right.
overnight.
Well, in a moment. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the flip side is, if you hold on to it, it's a long-term investment. So you got to be disciplined to stick with
Right.
it. Go, okay, I'm not going to flip this next week, next month, or even next year to make a real heavy duty
How do you
profit. I'm
do
gonna have
that?
to
How do
wait.
you do that when you see it just tanking? How do you see that?
Well,
You just have faith that it's going to go.
when I
back
see
up.
a tank, I buy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but when you're holding a lot, you know what I mean?
Well,
That's
for example, all the gold I bought.
This is just testicular fortitude, man.
totally. By the
Yeah.
way, I don't mean
No,
to
it is.
open a can of worms on Grid's show.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah. I don't mean
No,
to do
you're
that.
totally cool, dude. This is actually
Well-
something that it's a real thing because, like I don't. All right, so I have not been able. All right, let me back up. One of the ways that I was able to make good money without one of the ways I was able to make good money without a lot of real effort. It was a pain in the ass. It wasn't a lot of effort. Was Forex trading. I traded currency.
Really?
And yeah.
So
And
you
so
had to understand not only your economics, but the other country's economics as well.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why one of the reasons that I was able to do it is because I have I can see the 10,000-foot view.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
The
really
big
good story
picture.
about that. And then I can see
The ground
the
close.
ground view.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of it's actually because of a thing that I did when I was in military school. And and I've always since then I've had this, it's just been ingrained that I can see that huge picture, and it shocks people all the time that it's just the way my brain works is I like zoom in and I zoom way out, and I zoom in and I zoom way out, and in everything, literally everything.
That's how you get big picture, though.
Right. Well, it's how you keep a footing.
Right? Mm-hmm.
because if you zoom in too close, you don't see anything. You can't see the forest for the trees, right?
Yep.
And then, but if you zoom in, but if you stay zoomed out, you can't see that little detail.
Mm.
And
Smart.
so I'm pretty decent at it. So I was able to, I traded Forex pretty successfully. And it's just a weird deal, man. It's just so weird.
That's got to be
But
weird because you're not only dealing with your own economics. You know,
yeah, but
like that's complicated.
it's pretty predictable. And I was day trading mostly. But my
Oh,
thing
okay.
is that
But
what I'm
still,
saying
that's
is
crazy.
interesting is I would, for example, let's just say that I put 50 grand in and it went up to like 75,
Sure.
right? And then it retraced down to my stop loss at like 62 or whatever.
Right. And that would
And
be instant sell.
I lost 12 grand.
Right,
I would
but
be pissed that I lost that 12 grand.
Totally. But
I
it's
would
an
not
automatic
focus
sale,
on the
right?
fact that I made 15 grand.
Right.
I was completely focused that I'd lost 12 grand.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. I think that happens a lot of the time with people that trade, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That people that get
you
down
don't
like
care about
that.
your victories. You don't care
Because
about your victories.
I don't get down like that. I don't know nothing about stocks like that. I mean, I have a basic understanding, but not to that level.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
You'll never
Don't
sleep
fall
again.
into that
You'll never sleep
rabbit
again.
hole. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll never sleep again.
Bad idea.
But one of the things is I've gotten back into trading and like so I bought XRP at like 2 something, right? And and there for a little while it looked like I was going to be reversed on it, but I don't care because I'm holding it a long time. I should have bought it. I said I was going to buy it at like 110. And I just didn't. I waited one day.
And how much did it go up from 110?
It went from like 110 to 2.
Oh,
Like almost 250. If I bought in at 110,
that broke your heart.
That broke
your heart right there. That initial feeling, you're like, oh my God, I was going to do that.
Yeah, but I think it's going to go to $5 or $10, and I'll make a lot of money on it.
Mm-hmm. Right, looking long term.
Forex is really fast. DIY, it's really fast.
Yeah, for me, that's so above my.
Like, I can't do Forex. If I even dip my toe in, it's all consuming. Because all the markets open at different times.
Totally.
And I want to trade all the markets. Right.
So what time frame would that be in America? Well, I know where you're at. So what time your time would that be where all the markets are open?
There is no time when all the markets are open.
Man, so you're just you're fighting for it all the time.
Yeah. So the U.S. market would close, and I would go to sleep for like 3 hours, and then the European market would open.
Savage.
I would stay awake for 4 or 5 hours, depending on how volatile. I could stay awake 8 hours.
Bro, you're crazy.
All the whole time the European market was open, and I would go back to sleep, and the Japanese market would open up at like 10 in the morning. Was it 10 in the morning? It was something weird. And I'd be awake for that. I mean, you
were on it. You had alarms set for each one of these countries opening up and stuff.
It was literally, it was all consuming.
Yeah.
And I wanted to trade all the markets because I could make money in each one.
Sure.
Right. And
well, I mean, there's a possibility.
I'd get in, I'd put my trades in, it would go up, or down, and I would short. I would short stuff. I could see a drop coming, and I would.
This sounds like it takes up your entire life.
Yeah, it does.
My! I
told you, and that's why I don't do it anymore.
I don't have that lifestyle, dude. I just don't.
I swear, if I dip even a toe in,
it's game over.
I'm back in.
Yeah, you're back in completely all time. Yeah, you're not grid's not going to be seen anywhere.
Yeah, you won't see me for a while.
It'll be disappeared.
I had the whole the trader screens. I had the 3 screens.
Oh no, the real deal.
Always running my my charts. I actually ended up with I had an app, which we didn't call an app then. Well, I guess it was an app, but we're talking about this was like when I was using an iPhone S2 or
Yeah,
whatever,
the
3S.
one of the the 3GS.
Yeah, whatever it was. It was
Yeah.
anyway. So I had the rounded back iPhone, right?
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah. So I still have it somewhere, but
No way.
I I would set alarms on my phone to when I needed to be up, and then I would literally track all of my trades. I had a little sidebar, and it would track all my trades, all of my where I got in, where the stop loss was, and where it was currently. And it
Wow.
was literally like watching nuclear launch codes, like
That's
scroll up and
crazy.
down,
Just
like
yeah, like the
random
Matrix,
a
like the
number
Matrix.
randomizer, just like going up and down and up and down. It
It's
was
like the
crazy.
Matrix. You know what I mean?
But
Seeing that.
I eventually got to where I only traded the dollar versus the pound, dollar versus euro, and dollar versus yen.
Because those
I
are the
traded
most
those.
stable, right?
No, it's just the most volatility.
Okay, I got you.
Stable doesn't make me money, baby.
No,
I needed
you
volatility.
need it. Yeah, you need volatile to get it to go.
Yeah.
For some money. Yeah. I get you.
And I was so, I mean, I got into it, dude. So they, also, let me read this. Anson reminds us that Forex trading is how George Soros made his wealth. Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't have a life either.
That must be
Anson
what my neighbor
Knowles
over
says,
here
I make
does.
day trading portfolio tracking databases at work. We should talk about this. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Next show. Let's do that Friday night, bro. Let's do that Friday night. But I did, so I traded those pairs because they were the pairs I understood the most and they were the most volatile. And so I could count on swings, and I didn't need much, right? But I could count on swings making me 5 or 10 grand a day if I was having a good day. But it was.
Yeah, that's big money to be made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make good money
Per day. Yeah, that's great.
Well,
I mean, potential to make.
But yeah, you could lose as well.
Of course, that's part of the game.
But you got to do stop losses. You've got to be.
Well, you have your bar set. If it drops to a certain amount, it'll auto sell.
It exits. Yeah, it exits.
Yeah.
I did shorts. I was so into it that when Greenspan got rid of the leverage trades here in the U.S., we call it gearing. When he got rid of gearing in the U.S., where I could put up $1 on a $10 option, right? So if I put in $5,000, I controlled, $50,000.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's crazy.
Yeah. So when Greenspan said, no, you can't do that in the U.S. anymore. And you couldn't trade on the margin either.
Yeah.
You couldn't trade Forex on the margin. See, for a long time, you couldn't trade Forex on the margin. You would you had to have actual cash in your account. So when he did that, I flipped my account to Australia because Australia had was 1 in 12 gearing. So I could still do exactly this exact same thing, keep all the same spreads more or less. It was just in
Australia.
Yeah,
Australian currency. Right.
Yeah. And then when I would bring it back into the country, I paid a little bit of taxes on it, but I didn't care.
Right. Of course. Profit.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't bring back very much at a time.
Oh, smart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Crazy.
But it was really, I was really into it. I was really into the Forex trade. Like everybody, some people get into video games.
That was me.
I got into I want to crush it and make a bunch of money.
Yep. I feel that.
Yeah. It's time to call it a night, guys. I'm going to send you
Gentlemen.
guys to speakeasies. I think he's got some cool stuff going on.
I'm doing the same thing on my side, by the way.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
We're not speaking.
I'm not.
Flow State, not speaking. I'm sending you to
Flow-
Flow State.
Flow State's the man.
Yeah, we'll send you to Flow States. Nobody seems to be hating Flow State right now, so it's where the few
Really?
people have few people have problems with Easy. I don't know. I don't have a problem with Easy, but yeah, a couple of guys do. So yeah,
it is
Baby and
what it
Liberty is up. I'm gonna probably. The problem is he doesn't. I can't jump up on his stream, so I'm gonna jump up on. I'm gonna do some stream hopping
Nice.
myself before I go to bed, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
Nice.
You guys have been awesome tonight. Really appreciate the all of the cool stuff going on, and as I always say, please be cool, man. Be cool. Wear glasses if you need them. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, I just answered your question. Can you tell me what epistemology means?
Epistemology is the study of the epistles. I mean, you can. I told me that a husband and wife is supposed to be the representation of God and the church. He said he's a husband. I asked him if he sees himself as the embodiment of God, and he said no. That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, what is the epistles?
The epistles are the apostles. Are you talking about the apostles?